subscribe button if you're not a subscriber to the channel already. And if you are a subscriber, go ahead and hit that membership button to become a member of the channel, as you will be supporting Brandon and I and the content that we do right here on our GOAT James Kingdom platform. We're also going live straight off of the GOAT James Kingdom Facebook group as well. So shout out to everybody that's following us there. You guys know what to do. We are GOAT James Kingdom. Today's show is going to be about LeBron James and how he overcame all these obstacles during the playoffs, and has he actually overcome more than any other great that's played the game. So we got our normal panelists as usual. We got King John back in the building. We got Travis. We see y'all in the comments. Thank you for joining us again. Craig just popped up. What up, Craig? We're about to have a great show. What's good, Brandon? What we got for these gentlemen today? What we got for everybody today?
Today I just want to throw it back, to our panel. We're going to talk about the moments that LeBron James had in the postseason. I was just sitting back and I was thinking about it. Like, LeBron has really done some amazing things in the playoffs. Like, he has overcome a lot. Just thinking about when he was, the Golden State, the Spurs series, even the Boston series early on in his career when he was 22, making it to the finals. Like, those things, those moments, just watching videos are like, man, this guy, when he's done playing basketball, his documentary series is gonna be crazy about what this guy has done in his career. So I'm gonna just start off with John. What is Give me a few moments in LeBron postseason career that you're like, man, I didn't know he was gonna, come out on top.
Detroit. I shouldn't even have to say anything else besides Detroit. If I say Detroit and LeBron James, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that 48-point special.
Yes. I mean, 25 of the Cavs, 26 points. I mean, who saw that at 22? No, that don't supposed to happen. I mean, that young in your career, you averaging 28. The next closest person on the team averaged, what, 16, 17 points? I mean, what he did in that series, it was to me, it was the first time he put fear in the opponent. They didn't think they could beat him. And he didn't only put fear in Detroit. He put fear in the Celtics. That's when they formed the big three. Right after that. I mean, what he's done in his career, they've asked him, and to this day, year 21, what they've asked of him is to be the one guy to do it on his own, all by himself. He shouldn't need any teammates. That's it. That's his standard. That's the standard for LeBron. No help. We should be able to get 4 bombs off the street, and guess what? If you the GOAT, you should be able to win the championship. Go 82-0, no missed shots, no turnovers. This is your career. That's the standard and what he's supposed to do. And I mean, the Detroit series just changed, always changed it for me right there.
And he asked for a playoff moment, not no emotional speech, man. Get out of here.
That's the playoff moment. All right, Craig. Let me go to you there.
Hey, Craig was about to cry.
Yeah, hey, Craig's like, yeah, how do you follow that? How can I follow that up? What has Michael Jordan ever done to make me feel that good? Oh my God. Oh,
God. So what moment did you think LeBron should not have prevailed and came out on top?
Oh, you talking to me now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Detroit. Yeah, I think
the Detroit series.
22 straight points, 25 straight points in the fourth quarter.
Any other series, because John already said that Detroit. You got any other
ones?
Well,
I would say the Bulls series when he shut down Rose.
Yeah, the Bulls was favored to win that series. Okay. Yeah.
Beat the hell out of Pope.
And we had, to me, I think that was the greatest performance in a non-final series I've ever seen. When at 46 points, about 45, he was unstoppable that game. All right, Travis.
But yeah, 45, 15, and 6?
Yeah, he shot like 80%. It was crazy. All right, Travis, let me kick it to you. What moment you got for LeBron?
I mean, obviously, I would say 2016. Like, I don't think anybody thought that they were just going to go in there and and beat that just because of the mythical type season they had. Like nobody thought the Bulls record would ever be broken, but when or Golden State did it, it was, I think it put like this air of invincibility on them, kind of that they really couldn't be beat. Although I don't think they were better than the two subsequent teams, but it was just nobody. I didn't think any. I thought they were just going to they were going to handle them, and obviously you have the incredible comeback. Um, but I think that was probably the moment where I said, okay, well that's leading from the front. That's elevating your game to a top five level individually. For any series that we've ever seen. It's part of the ranking. But that for me was, uh, the chef's kiss there. I mean, I would say the Pistons series, but that was hardly the same Pistons team to give Shaq and Kobe the business. I mean, they didn't have a top three defender of all time in Ben Wallace. They were a shell of themselves. Like, we can glaze them all we want for that series. And LeBron performed great, but that wasn't one of his best. Or I said that wasn't one of the bigger ones.
All right. But Johnny, what moment you got for LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, you guys touched on
Something different than the guys. Do you have anything different?
You ain't got no more.
No, I definitely got one because 2012 was one of them with Boston, but that 2013 series with San Antonio, going down 3-2, coming to Miami, and then
having the parade about to start in the arena too.
Just the idea that LeBron was balling in that game. And we were still struggling to even win that game. And it was like scary at the end. We all know how the end happened. It was like, oh my God, like I remember putting my head down when Kawhi Leonard was on the free throw line and thinking to myself, man, we're gonna actually lose the championship.
They were bringing out the trophy.
I was like, yo, this is
already brought out the trophy. They had it broke off.
Fans were leaving. It was like, yo, we're gonna lose the NBA final, and and at that time LeBron was balling. He had a serious fourth quarter. I know some people are gonna bring up the end, him missing the three, and the turnovers here and there, but still he had a great fourth quarter. He scored like 16 points in the fourth quarter. He went ham that whole quarter, and they were still struggling to win. And then obviously the Ray Allen shot, and then they overcome that. Right, because you still got to win the overtime. Because that shot just sends it to overtime. The game's not over. They win it in overtime, right, with the Chris Bosh block, and then Game 7, LeBron shows up even more. Paced himself, did everything right, hit the game-winning shot, they hit the clutch free throws. What can we say? That was like, okay, look at y'all. This man is the man that y'all, because back then Skip Bayless was the number one thing. After every game, we went to go listen to what Skip Bayless had to say. Because he was the number one guy. So we knew after that it was like, yo, what you gonna say now? What are you gonna say now? This is back to back. This is Tim Duncan, the Spurs. This is LeBron clutch moments, everything. That was like 2013 was it. 2013 was that moment.
The Spurs never go back to back, so ain't nobody had them win.
But then it wasn't even going back to back. That was like
they had game one. They had game one. They had the game one. And
just for the record, I ain't never happened in Jordan's watch. I don't know what it feel like for Jordan to be sweating in the Game 7 in the finals. I just want to let y'all know that.
All right, so you guys brought us a good one. So you got the Golden State, the Pistons, the Boston, Spurs, the Bulls series. So that's
Toronto too. Toronto, he's the Toronto killer. Like,
I wouldn't say that because they just couldn't beat LeBron. Like it wasn't like we were surprised that he beat Toronto again.
In 2018, even in 2018.
Yeah, we were surprised. Like one of the series that put LeBron on the map for me when he was playing the Nets in 2007. They had Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, and he just brought his boys to the playoffs, and they actually beat the Nets with that star-studded team. Like that was the first time I noticed that. Like, okay, this dude is special. He's very special when he went out there and beat those guys. Kidd in his prime, Vince Carter in his prime, like. They were ready to actually go against the Pistons and make it to the finals, and LeBron James knocked them off. Like that was the first time I noticed that LeBron James was special. The first time I knew he was good. We all knew he was good, but man, that series just opened my eyes. Like they couldn't stop LeBron, and LeBron was making all the plays. His teammates, they was actually making shots. So yeah, All right, John, do you have any more playoff moments for LeBron?
The crazy part is I was finna bring up that New Jersey series. Exactly series I was finna bring up the New Jersey. They were just like it surprised everybody. I mean, he took it up to another level. It was just like, okay, this is my regular season, but this is my playoff. Y'all have to prepare for the playoff, LeBron. And I mean, you didn't think nobody could be that special, that fast, that early in their career. And he did. This is only his second year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like he got 4, 5 seasons into it. He goes step by step. He went from year one, we get to the second round. Next year, we in the NBA Finals. I mean,
I thought you was talking about Magic Johnson when he won the finals his rookie year.
Okay, as the second option. Okay, that's the second option. We talking about number one option
with the league MVP. With the league MVP.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It matters.
All right.
Yeah, that don't matter. Yeah,
all right, John. You got another playoff moment for LeBron before I go?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the fact that he beat Stephen Curry last year in the playoffs, that was great. I like that one. That was good.
That's always great.
That's always great. When he beat Stephen Curry in the playoffs after Curry was the defending champ, and like, yo, bye-bye, end of the Warriors dynasty, no more. It's gone. I ended another one.
I don't think no one was surprised that he won that series, though.
Wow. Nobody thought, again, I mean, if you're a LeBron fan, you're not surprised, but the way people were talking about the Lakers and Stephen Curry, he wasn't supposed to win that. Stephen Curry was supposed to win that.
They said he didn't have Kevin Durant, so nobody was expecting Golden State to win.
He won a championship the year before. That's what I'm saying. He was a defending champ.
He didn't play LeBron with them. He didn't play. Golden State didn't play any team LeBron was on without Kevin Durant. So
all right, shout out.
Well,
go ahead, Brandon.
Well, another series I got is that Boston series in 2018 when they went down 0-2, and they just looked like they ran out of gas. And then Game 7, remember Al Horford was saying how they were just exhausted, and he could just see LeBron just sitting over there like he was at full strength. Like this guy was like a robot.
In 2015, did he sweep the 60-win team Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals?
They swept the Atlanta Hawks. Yep.
Look what it took. Look what squad it took in those days to win 60 games.
4 All-Stars.
Yep, 4 All-Stars.
Where are they now?
It don't matter. They were 4 All-Stars, just like the bum Knicks in '94. Where are they now?
One of the players in the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
Where are they now?
Al Horford in the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
That is
Al's
true.
also contributed.
Yeah. All right, Craig. Since we brought up like 6 or 7 moments for LeBron, and you trying to down LeBron, talking about the Hawks.
I'm not down LeBron. I'm just saying, y'all.
I mean, you the one who brought that up. We didn't bring up him beating the Hawks because everybody knew he was going to beat the Hawks.
Everybody knew he was going to beat Golden State. Everybody knew he was going to beat.
Who knew he was going to beat Golden State?
Everybody knew he was going to beat Chicago.
I mean, Golden State was the defending champions.
I'm talking about Golden State in 2022.
Golden State was the higher seed as well. No one just expected them to win.
They
beat them in 6 games. What you talking about?
The Lakers didn't play them in 2023. They played.
Well, 2023, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they beat them in 6 games.
Yeah, Golden State was the defending champions, correct?
Yeah, they were.
But that's the same thing when they was having issues, the punch in the face. Nobody thought they was going to go any further.
I mean, Jordan hit Steve Kerr in the face. Nobody put them down and didn't think they were going to.
That's different. That's different.
Jordan's go.
All right. So let's go ahead and kick it off to some moments that we were surprised that Michael Jordan elevated his team to actually, win a playoff series, a playoff game or something like that. All right, John, you can go ahead and kick it off first.
I mean, I'm from Chicago, and our championship was Detroit. That's at that time, it was the Detroit Pistons. We couldn't talk about anything else until we beat Detroit. I mean, it was a fear factor of Detroit, and anybody from Chicago who would tell you it wasn't, they lying to you. we
But
had to
was it
fear Detroit.
surprised that Chicago won that series?
In 1991. Yes, even with
It
it
was
being a
not a
sweep,
surprise.
even with it being a sweep, it was a surprise.
The Bulls should have actually won in '90, but it was not too much of a surprise. But it was something that Jordan had to overcome. Yes, something he had to overcome the Pistons to beat them.
So
I
the
mean,
sweep is
for us, it
overcoming
was. I
them.
mean, you can always go back and say that Cleveland, when the Cleveland was a 3 seed and the Bulls was a 6 seed,
Hmm.
and had we beat Cleveland that year. But for us in Chicago, it was always Detroit. Even up 3-0, a lot of people in Chicago didn't think we was gonna win that series. I'm telling you from the heart of Chicago at the time, we still didn't think we was gonna win that series at that time. Even though we should have won in 90. I mean, you saw what happened. We should have won in 90 and we lost. So we didn't think we could beat Detroit, and when we did, it was just like, oh, we could do what we want to the Lakers. Once it was the Lakers, because
Yeah,
it
you
was always
can't
Detroit.
let the series go to Game 7. All right, Craig, he give me some moments from Jordan that he overcome in
Can
the
he, John?
playoffs.
I mean,
John,
when you great, it's just hard to come. Like he said, the Detroit. That was the only team. That was the only team really to get over the hump. With the
John messed up
Detroit.
everything again. John messed up everything again. He gave a great speech. The
I
first
mean,
speech.
but
Now
when
nobody can come have that shit. Now it says Detroit.
I mean,
Just
but
Detroit.
you see what happened once he won. There was really no. There was. I mean, you could say New York when he was down 0-2 when he was gambling, but then again, they came back and won that series.
But they weren't supposed to be down 0-2.
I mean,
Right.
LeBron was down in 0-2 when against the Celtics against
Better
the
team.
18-year-old Tatum.
I mean, there was a better team.
Who's the better team? Well,
Boston was definitely a better team than the Cavs.
the who?
They said New York. Then New York.
I'm
No, I'm
talking
just
about.
saying. He said Boston with LeBron, 18-year-old Tatum, which he wasn't 18, but Boston was just a better team than the Cavs.
But it wasn't.
They were.
Yes, they were.
Who the Cavs had in 2018?
That's
Kyle
the season
Korver.
that. Remember, Kyrie was hurt.
No, Kyrie wasn't
Oh,
on
he
it.
was on
He was
Boston.
with Boston.
He was on Boston.
Yeah,
was hurt.
he didn't play that series.
I know that. So
Okay.
who was on? Who
He was
on
hurt.
Cleveland?
So how can they be the better team if they just one of the?
He didn't
But-
play none of the playoffs. He didn't
Yeah.
play none of that playoffs.
I mean, you got Al Horford, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart,
Terry
I
Rozier.
mean,
Terry
yeah,
Rozier.
Boston was the better team. Like they were favored for a reason.
You
They've
got
been favorites for the last decade.
Yeah, they had.
No, I'm talking about Boston over the Cavs.
They've
Yeah,
been
over the
favorites for the
Cavs.
last decade.
Yeah.
we talking about George Hill, LeBron James, Kyle Korver, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson.
And Kevin Love didn't even play in Game 7.
So it did it with the concussion.
Just like
Okay.
Scotty. And what happened when Jordan didn't have Scotty?
Well, Jordan's not good in Game 7s.
I'm saying that Detroit was the defending champions. Boston was a.
Well,
I mean,
Detroit-
you just
no, you said New
I
York.
guess
No, you
you
said New
did.
York. He
You
was
said
down 0-2
New York.
against New York. Yeah, it was New York. New York wasn't the defending champions. All they had was Patrick Ewing and a grocery bag man as their second best player.
Hey, he was injured. He was Atlantic City instead of focusing on the game.
Well, they had Scottie Pippen, so that helped a lot. That helped a lot in that series.
And they had the all defensive player in Horace Grant.
Yeah,
So
Scotty went
Jordan
off
had
in that
to-
game. Scotty went
Yes,
off in
yes.
that game 3.
Yeah,
went
Scottie
off in
just
that
didn't make one shot. He actually controlled the game.
Yeah,
so,
he did.
so Jordan's only a playoff overcoming problem was the Detroit Pistons in 1990 and 91. Is that it, Travis?
Yeah,
Is
because
all y'all
after
got?
that,
We don't want to talk
91
about
when
Okay, if you wanna
the
say
Bulls
Orlando
was
in
it-
a
96,
superior team.
You said
if you want to say Orlando in
Cleveland
96
88?
because they beat them in 95,
No, I think that there was.
The
I mean,
72 Timberwolves?
I don't think there's any moments where they went in thinking like, okay, like if they went into thinking they were huge underdogs, other than the series where like in let's say his early series where he was facing Boston, where obviously they didn't win, but I don't think that anyone was obviously from the East was gonna compete with those guys, especially those years. But I think one of my favorite moments was obviously when they beat the Suns. That Suns team had the best record in the league, and again, they were they were the best offense in the league too. They had 8 guys in double figures, the MVP. Obviously, the Bulls were good that year too with a prime Mike, but I don't think that was the overwhelming consensus. The Bulls were going to win that series. Like that team was great. Were loaded with shooters. They were good defensively. Um, I don't think it was a huge upset that the Bulls won, but I think that Mike had a historic season. Obviously, 41 points a game on of 51% shooting, pretty ridiculous. I believe that's still the highest output of any finals series of all time, and I could be wrong on that, but it was to me. I think that was just the crescendo of basically performance as far as where you're going to see just from a pure scoring output in the finals goes. But to me, I think that series could have gone away. I think the Suns should have been favored. I think they were, but that was that to me that was my favorite Michael Jordan, or one of my favorite series from him as far as just pure team elevation.
But it was
You look at a team.
they was underdog versus Cleveland when Cleveland was the 3 seed and the Bulls was the 6 seed. They was underdogs then.
1988, right? Was it 88 or 89?
89, I believe.
89. Yeah, 89
Yeah,
Bulls.
yeah.
The 89 Bulls did because they didn't have that much of a good record compared to the year prior, but they played Cleveland in a 5-game series, and then they played the Knicks, and then they lost to Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then Mr. AP the Great said, he said Jordan is the apex predator. He said LeBron is the prey. That's the difference. That's why Jordan doesn't need to overcome anything like LeBron. So you're admitting that Jordan had no competition. Like usual, Jordan had no competition. But
That's because you're great. When you make your competition see, this the thing. Jordan competition is the reason he won, and LeBron is the competition the reason why he lost. Because every time y'all bring up the lose, y'all always bring up a competition. That's how I see it.
So hold on.
I don't bring up
Jordan
competition.
won and LeBron lost. What'd you say? Jordan won and LeBron lost. What that supposed to mean?
Because when y'all always say people bring up 6-0 and they bring up these finals appearances, that's what I get. He only 6-0 because his competition is weak. So my thing is, okay, then if his competition, he's the competition that he won, then LeBron's the competition that he's lost.
No, because
How did Jordan always win and he only won 6 titles? What that supposed to mean?
Did you not hear what I just said? I said every time someone bring up that he's undefeated in the finals, they say because it's the competition. So
we're not even talking about that.
But I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. He's brought up the point of the competition. It's always
I'm bringing up the point that he said. I'm bringing up the point that he said here, and Brandon could bring up the thing here. He says a apex predator like Jordan doesn't have to overcome like prey like LeBron. So he's basically saying Jordan is an apex predator. That means he is the top of the food chain. He doesn't have to overcome anything because he's the best. That means your comp is weaker than you. Who you playing against? That's what I'm saying.
Great. When did he become an apex predator? What year? 91. He was drafted in 84. So
well, after he beat Detroit, because obviously Detroit was what he had to overcome. Any Jordan fan would say that. He wasn't an apex predator in 1990.
No.
My thing is you can't say he overcome something. You can't really overcome a team that you're superior than. You can't overcome someone who's limping. You just step over them. That's what the Bulls did to Detroit. They just stepped over them. They didn't have to overcome Detroit because Detroit was already done.
How? They was the defending NBA champions. Y'all gloss about Detroit, who was 3 years removed from a championship.
And they were done. Because that Detroit Pistons team was superior than that Cavs team. That Detroit Pistons team was not superior than the Bulls team.
They was defending NBA champions.
They were not superior than that Bulls team that year.
Y'all just hypocritical when
they did lose some players though.
They defending NBA champions.
They just wasn't the best. They weren't better than the Bulls that year. They just was not.
So Cleveland had a top. 2007
just like Golden State was not the best team in the league last year, even though they just won a title. They just was not the best team. Everyone knew
2007 Cavaliers had a better had just as good a defense as those Pistons teams, but they were both top 5 and they had a better offense. Tell me how they were superior that year to Cleveland.
What'd you say? Who?
The 2007 Pistons. They're statistically they were like the same team.
The conference finals, they were champions.
They had a better roster.
They had a better roster, but they didn't produce better.
We didn't produce better. So
are you saying
the 2007 Cavaliers were better than the Detroit Pistons?
Cavaliers had a better offense and a top 5 defense.
So are you saying that Detroit Pistons that year was better than the Cavs, and the Cavs should have won that series?
No, I'm saying the Cavs were better. If you look
The
at
Cavs were better,
if you look
and
at
they should have
statistics,
won. So LeBron they just should have won. It wasn't really a question.
No, he's saying that the Cavs were a better team than the
Yeah, the
Detroit
Cavs
yeah,
were
Pistons.
better
I'm
than
not. No,
Pistons,
what
so
I'm
they should have
saying
just won.
What I'm saying is everyone's like, oh, 2007 Detroit Pistons. Okay, cool. That was not the same team that beat Shaq and Kobe and was historic. I'm saying the team, if you look at their stats and whatnot, that team matched
Mm-hmm.
up well across the board. And again, by the numbers, the Cavs actually had a better offense. So make it make sense. Was it a great series? Sure. Could have got out of the way? Absolutely. Was LeBron fantastic? 100%. But don't act like it was just this milestone that you can compare that was like like this insane accomplishment because
Yeah,
in no way, shape, or form was it like a historical accomplishment.
he had to be
So,
fantastic to win that series, though.
and
Of
so
course,
you're saying the
he's a top
Detroit
two
Pistons
player.
was not better than the Cavs. That's what you're saying. The Cavs should have beat them. Like it should have been a question. The
No,
Cavs were just
it was
superior than the Pistons.
the Cavs were on paper superior. Yes, it should. It
Okay.
wasn't a question, but it wasn't like they were head and shoulders. What I'm saying is they were at worst they were evenly matched. So I don't see why you can just point to that series and be like, oh my god, that's one of them. I pointed to the one where they were like heavy underdogs. Okay, 2007 just isn't on
They were
precedent.
underdogs versus the Pistons too.
Okay,
They actually were.
were they? I mean, if they were, then it wasn't based on stats. It was
It
just
was
based on
based
record.
because the East Detroit was in the Eastern Conference Finals for 7 straight seasons. So it was either you had to go to them. Everybody
They were glazing.
the Nets went through them, the Heat went through them. Everybody was going through them. So people was like, Cleveland can do it too. The Heat did it. The Nets did it. They was in the Eastern Conference for like 7 years straight.
Yeah. How about we look at actually the best
But
playoff
wait a minute,
runs of all time?
wait, Travis. See, this is why, Travis, I gotta stop you. Who had the better defense, Detroit or Cleveland?
I think Detroit did by like 2 slots, and they were both top 5.
Detroit had the second best defense in 2007, behind the Spurs, right? The
Mhm.
Cavaliers had the 5th best defense. What was the difference in offense?
Cleveland had the better offense, I believe. Look up those
By less
stats
than a point.
Okay.
By
So,
less than a point. So you're saying
at worst,
the
they're
Cleveland
evenly
Cavaliers
matched.
had that? No, the Cleveland Cavaliers exactly. So that means they had a better defense than the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that makes them a better team. They shot better than the Cavaliers did shot that year as far as field goal percentage, right? Now the Cavs were a better rebounding team, but they were a better passing team. The Cavs got more steals. They got more blocks. The Cavs fouled more, so they fouled less than the Cavaliers. They were legitimately a better team. They had a better record than the Cavaliers. And they were 21st in offense. The Cavaliers were 19th in offense. So
Yeah.
how were the Cavaliers? Did they win the division? The Cavaliers didn't win the division. The Pistons won their division.
They won
They're
it
in
with
the-
what, 50 games?
They're still in the same division. They won it 53 games. But they're in the same division. Cleveland plays against them 4 times a year. They're in the same division, the Central Division. How can you say that they're better based off of the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers had a great defense that year? That's all you're just saying because they were a top 5 defense. That made them
Yeah.
better. Even though Detroit had the number 2 defense.
Yeah, I literally said that they both had a top 5 defense, and I said the Cavaliers had a better offense. I was right on both those regards. What I'm saying is that you could make an argument that those teams were relatively evenly matched going into the season. I'm saying, how can you point to that series as some historical accomplishment when, again, those teams, when you look at it, again, their defense is very close together, and so is their offense. It's not like it's not
Right.
like I said, the 2004 Pistons were there.
Trav, you're just talking
So-
in circles. Who was the
Trav-
number 1 team in the East that year? Who was the number 1 team in the East that year, Travis?
2007, wasn't it?
Yes.
I don't even know. I have to look up the exact record.
It was the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
Who had the better odds to make it to the finals?
I don't care about odds or anything
Who
like
had-
that.
Detroit Pistons.
All right. Who had more All-Stars?
The Detroit Pistons.
You're talking about things that have nothing to do with what happened on the court.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
That's what we're. Oh my goodness.
No,
how
you're
you
not.
make an All-Star team?
I'm saying, how can you? I don't get it voted on.
Okay. Who had the more all defensive players?
Who cares? Who had top 5 defense?
Who won
I don't
the
care.
series?
That's also voted on.
No,
these things are
but you're
voted on.
talking. You have the Cleveland Cavaliers had no all defensive players on their roster.
But they still have
While-
top 5 defense. Okay.
While the Detroit Pistons had 2 all defensive players on their roster, plus an all NBA player on their roster. So they had 3 players that were either top 10 in defense and top 15 in the league, while the Cleveland Cavaliers had none of that. They had one player, LeBron James. Just LeBron James.
It's like Chicago in '91.
It doesn't matter. It's like
No.
those players were defending on a high
Scottie
level.
Pippen was an all defensive player in 1991.
See, now we're just going off the rails because
No, that's
I said-
not. How? We're
I
talking
said
about
facts.
how
I'm
you
not
make
talking
an all
about-
NBA.
I don't
Trav,
understand
you
how
said
you
why
can
does
point
the
to that
stats
series.
matter?
The Cavs
You
was
have-
down 2 games to none in that series versus the number
Yeah.
1 seed.
What
And
does that have
LeBron
to do
didn't have
with
to
what I said?
overcome nothing.
Over.
He didn't have to overcome that
Jackson
series
had to
to win.
overcome
Who
something.
was the number 1 seed in Detroit in 1991 in Chicago? The Bulls.
So okay,
Who
so
had
they
more
were
all NBA and
they
all
were better
defensive
than-
players? The Bulls.
They were at a team.
Bulls.
They were facing a team who were they were better than defensively, and they matched up well with, they were better with offensively, and they matched up well with defensively. Okay, were they number 1 seed? Sure, but again, you're pointing to that series as this Mount Everest, right? For LeBron. I said LeBron was fantastic in that series. Great.
We didn't
But
say that was the
how-
greatest series ever. We just said that's one of the series he overcame in the playoffs, which was being down 0-2 to the number 1 seed. So
I mean,
that
did
doesn't fit the
overcame?
criteria? That doesn't fit the criteria.
I mean, if
To
that's
you.
your criteria, sure. I'm just saying there were way better examples of like him.
All right.
yes,
against
we
Hold
named like 7 of them. We named like 7.
7. I mean,
How about-
I even say when he lost, like against his way better series was against Orlando in 2009.
Oh, he overcame another
But-
sweep in the finals and won that game against Golden State. That's something to be proud of.
What?
Man, it's
I'm
not being
surprised
proud
that
of. We're just talking-
y'all can't. We went from talking
Y'all
about
knocking
LeBron having.
LeBron for winning, really.
Yeah, no, we went from
Right.
we went from accepting LeBron having all these overcomings in the playoffs, and just because Jordan doesn't have enough or only has one,
Just go attack LeBron.
that you're going to attack LeBron because Jordan didn't have to overcome nothing in his career. He didn't have to
Hey,
overcome nothing.
Not
Because
attack
he
LeBron.
only had to do
Yeah,
the
but he
once.
couldn't. He
man.
lost.
You know what?
When
You
he
know
was
what?
down, he lost.
Well, let's go outside of Jordan because they're hurting the Jordan because we had FYF Sports. Shout out to Lamont, bring up Bill Russell.
No,
Is there
matter of fact, let's go to Kobe. Kobe.
Kobe didn't have to overcome nothing.
He overcame the Celtics.
Okay, what series did Kobe have to overcome?
He overcame the Celtics in 2010.
Said the Celtics. Okay,
2010?
okay, we go. He was
He was
he
up
was the
on
number 1
Phoenix.
seed, right?
He was
Wasn't
up
he
on
number 1
Phoenix
seed?
3-1. He was
He
up
all
on
the
Phoenix
teams LeBron
3-1.
couldn't in the East.
He overcame Shaq having more championships than him.
Okay, I'm serious. Travis.
No, Kobe was part of the 4 of the top 12 hardest playoff runs of all time. So,
Okay. Which series did he had to overcome?
overcome? Let's see.
Yeah, just like
Like,
LeBron. We
they
named like
were-
7 for LeBron and 1 for Jordan.
So let's see. I think they were probably underdogs in 2002 and 2001 again, or when
Don't
they
talk
faced the
anything
Spurs.
about 2002. That's the fixed playoffs.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
2001, 2002 against the
yeah,
Spurs.
yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
We're going to give that one to
whoa,
Shaq.
whoa.
We're going to get that one to Shaq.
Oh wait, so yeah, exactly. So how does Kobe overcome 2002?
Okay. We're not going to say what Shaq did. Come on, Travis. You're the Kobe guy. You're the Kobe guy. Go. They're in the comments
You
talking
got to
about
go from
Kobe. So, come on. They're in the
2005 and
comments.
on. 2005
Yeah, they're in
and
the
on.
comments with Kobe. They're bringing
What?
up Kobe. They're bringing up Kobe in the comments. Come on, Travis.
2005 and on. What are you talking about?
Let's go
That's,
get it. Let's
that's
go get
Kobe's
it.
over. You can't say Kobe overcame some while he had Shaq.
Why?
Well, Shaq was the leader because Shaq was the leader on the team. Shaq was the man.
Oh, here we go.
Come on,
Okay,
come
so
on, Travis.
even
Let's
if we do that,
go. Let's go.
2000
Let's give it to Kobe.
2000,
Kobe won the more
2010
50-win
was
team.
still a
Somebody
top-
said. Black Mamba 824.
You could still say 2010 was still was still one of the hardest playoff runs of all time, and he beat the Celtics, which actually just obliterated LeBron to get there.
We are going to give that to Kobe. We're going to give 2010 to Kobe. Next.
2010 is tough. It's tough. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Okay, that
we're
was
also
tough.
we're eliminating all of his playoff runs before that.
Okay. Give us a series that he outplayed Shaq and overcame in the
Well, he
before
outplayed
during
Shaq throughout
Shaq.
the majority of the Western Conference.
I was about to
playoff
say the
runs in,
Spurs
I think,
series.
Okay,
2001.
when? That's why 2001 versus who?
The Spurs.
Against the Kings and the Spurs.
The Spurs.
The Kings and the
Kings.
Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
The Spurs.
Okay.
There was one. There was a Western Conference, but I think it was 2002.
You realize that
or
2001
2001.
Lakers went 15-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that doesn't
They
mean
faced, like, three-
that doesn't mean
like
Kobe
260
overcame
I
anything.
mean, the best team won. Was he down?
It sounds like
no.
the defense. Sound like the
No.
defense.
Oh, he wasn't down. Okay.
Well, they
Sound
were
like-
down in 2002, and they came back and won
2002. To who?
Nah, that's the
Against the Kings?
fifth playoffs. We
The
can't.
Kings.
make
Okay.
2002.
Okay. Shaq.
Lakers
And,
won in April.
Yeah.
okay.
Those were like,
All right, Travis. Come on. The guys in the comments are looking. He said 2009, 2010. He overcame.
Yeah, these are the same guys
Black
in the
Mamba
comments
said
who are
that.
never going to get up here and say shit. So, I mean,
Black.
they
No,
just-
his name is Black Mamba number
Black
8,
Mamba.
number 24. He said 2009, 2010. Kobe went to 3 straight NBA finals without Shaq. Making the finals is important to Kobe fans.
I know a player of the week that's important to Kobe fans. It's
It
on his
better be.
statue.
He actually
Statue.
beat Prime Tim Duncan 2008 with only a top 75 player basically, and what is he? He won 2 rings with. I think he's still the only guy to do that back to back without a top 75 or with just a top 75 player or without one.
So he went back to back with another first ballot Hall of Famer.
Is he first ballot?
Oh, come
Who?
on.
Paul Gasol. Paul
Yeah.
Gasol is he first ballot. He's
Yes.
definitely first ballot.
First ballot.
So-
Well, in real life, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's in it.
In real
He's
life,
already-
he is.
It happened
Sure.
already.
Real
He's
life,
first
yeah.
ballot, but he's not top 75 player, right?
No, he's not top 75.
Yeah. So that Kobe's still the only one to do it.
Okay, who did Tim Duncan have top 75 on his team? Since you're saying the Spurs.
Hakeem had a top 75 player?
No,
Travis
we're talking
second
about
one.
the
Yeah, Travis.
2008.
Who did Duncan have top
Who
75
was on the
his team?
2008 Spurs that was a top
Come
75
on,
player?
Travis. Come on, Travis. Tell me. Tell us. We're
2011,
looking.
they had, I believe, Tony Parker's top 75.
No.
Not in real life.
No, not in real life.
David Robinson was on the coaching staff.
B. Lee is getting cooked. I'm
He's
getting because they don't know the answers. Answers is getting cooked.
No, you
That's
know
getting
why?
cooked.
Because they never really watched Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan's career. They don't even know about their great moments.
They know all about LeBron.
No. Y'all getting
We're waiting, Travis.
No, y'all said
We're waiting. Craig, help Travis out.
Well, they could break
Craig,
down
help Travis
LeBron's
out.
Wait a minute.
career,
No,
man.
now y'all changed. Y'all
Craig,
said great
please help
moments.
Travis out about this
What's the
Kobe
difference
stuff.
between
Kobe,
great
Michael
moments
Jordan,
and
same thing.
overcoming the series? Overcoming
Hey,
is not.
I
All
actually,
right.
you're the one who said we had to admit half of his career.
We did. I said which series did he outperform Shaq and won?
I give you
You
like
said-
4 series.
you
No,
said
I'm
Golden
talking
State.
about in general.
No,
You
I didn't.
talking
You said
about
Golden
overcoming,
State.
and you basically was the
I mean, not Golden
underdog
State, the
and you won.
Kings. You gave me the Kings.
I give you 4 series.
Who? Okay,
Boston.
I'm sorry.
He gave us Boston
You said-
and Spurs.
I give you when he outperformed Shaq specifically, right?
Yeah, no, outperformed Shaq.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
And they
From
overcame by being down. They overcame by being down or not being the best team when he had Shaq on his team.
So we're getting very
Not when he
specific
won a
now.
series with Shaq. That's what we're overcoming. How you going to overcome a team that you're better than?
They were better than that team.
What team?
You mean
was
they're
that?
better-
They
they're
didn't
better
have to
because they
overcome
won?
with Shaq.
So the 01 Lakers were by no means better going into the playoffs than the Spurs. Okay, the Spurs had the best record in the league, and they had the MVP. Okay, and so they were
Sure,
favored.
number one
They were
seed
not
only
favored to win
counts
that
as
series.
LeBron's opponent.
No, because
Yeah.
LeBron's faced tougher opponents. Y'all don't want to accept that. It's not our
Y'all
fault that
literally just had a whole argument about LeBron beating the Spurs, and now it's a whole issue about about Kobe beating the Spurs.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
literally
argue
the
that
same
Spurs
thing.
team was
better than
It's
07.
the same players that both Kobe.
Johnny, do you know what that 2001 Spurs series was versus the Lakers?
Yeah.
He's gonna tell it was a sweep.
No.
It was a sweep. It was a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I was about to say 1-4-0.
And Craig tried to help him out, saying they was 15-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah. And that one game lost was in the finals versus Philly.
Derek Fisher
Mm-hmm.
had 28 points in the closing game.
Yeah,
Kobe
that's a
overcame what?
Overcame.
Shaq-
So that's the
All
dumbest
right,
thing.
all right,
So
all right, all right, Travis.
that was a
Travis,
58
we're
win
gonna
team.
need
Wow.
to
Spurs
that one from your
Wow.
four. So you said
Wow.
Boston.
So
You
we're
said the Kings for
penalizing
some
Kobe.
reason.
We're penalizing the Lakers or these players in general for
We're not
being
penalized. We said
for
what did he overcome?
outperforming
He didn't overcome sweeping a lesser team.
a lesser team. They were better in every regard than those Lakers going into that series. Lesser? How were they lesser? They were lesser when they matched up and the Lakers were performing at a higher level. That's what you're saying. You're docking Kobe
They
for
had
just
David
being
Robinson.
better.
They had 2 top 75 players. It was literally
Yeah,
easy.
they had Robinson and Duncan, and they
They got
had
swept.
a bunch of people. They had
Because
The
Kobe
Lakers-
Derek
They
Anderson.
got
The-
swept.
The
Kobe,
He didn't
Lakers
overcome. They got
had
swept. They
Shaq.
wasn't down at all.
The
They were not
Lakers
down at all. They
had
swept.
Shaq, the most dominant player y'all say y'all ever seen in NBA history.
I don't
Shaq.
We're not
He's
saying
not-
what series did Kobe score more points than Shaq in the playoffs. We're saying what series did Kobe Bryant overcome for the Lakers to win versus a better team or being down.
See, I changed it. I want y'all to read. I want y'all to read back what y'all.
Yeah, because the whole point of
started-
overcome, you have to the point of overcoming is
How
that
you
you're in
gonna
a position.
overcome?
You're in a position where you're in a position where
You
you're
know
not
what we have to do
supposed.
here?
You're in
In
a
order
position
to
where you're
glaze
not supposed
LeBron-
to succeed. Where was the position where were they supposed to beat San Antonio? Yes.
No. Why?
And swept them.
But that's
They-
after the fact.
After the fact, yes. But if you go into that series, everything
So
was,
when did
everything was favoring San Antonio.
so when did the Lakers ever struggle versus San Antonio?
First game.
Well, they lost like basically the year after that in 2003.
Everything, all the series we brought up, LeBron was struggling through these series playing against tough opponents. They were struggling. Yes, I'm not going to say the Spurs were not a tough opponent.
Oh,
but
if
I'm just
that was the
saying,
case,
they weren't struggling. If you're up 1-0, where are you struggling? You're up 2-0. You're up 3-0. You sweep them. Where did you overcome anything? Other
but
than your
technically,
opponent perceived to be
that
better
series
than
was
you.
about Kobe outperforming Shaq. That's what
No,
this really
you're
was
down.
about.
You're down 0-2 against Detroit. You're in a game 5. You scored
Yeah, so
25
play better.
straight points. Yeah, you scored 25 straight points to get your team a victory, to get a lead in the series. That is overcoming. You were down 0-2 like that. Like you guys don't know no moments where Kobe was struggling and he had to overcome that and accomplish something.
We just
Oh, you
know
mean
he
like
was
in the
down
2000 finals where he
there.
took over for an injured Shaq and like scored the last like 8 points to actually win that series or actually force it to a game 6?
Which
That was
series
one of
that?
them. If we're talking about specifically,
How you gonna force a game 6? They were down 1-3.
no, I'm sorry. They given them an opportunity to close out a game 6. I'm sorry.
So they ended up taking the lead, going up 3-2 because of Kobe, right? That was the one where Kobe was like doing this, right? He was telling them, "Chill, I got this." Shaq fouled out. Was that in 2000? Is that what you're talking about? So that's Kobe overcoming something, one game.
Well, it's Kobe
But he had-
overcoming an injury. I mean, if we're just being super specific with the criteria, you're saying, okay, we can talk about where he just played well and beat a team that they weren't supposed to be. We're talking about when they were down or when he didn't play well. It's just super specific stuff that we have to talk about. Here.
No, we're talking about overcoming. I mean, because most of the series LeBron's played that he wasn't supposed to win. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. He wasn't supposed to beat Washington in 2006.
Why? The whole
He
team was injured. There was
No, that was in 07. In 2006, they were not injured. He wasn't supposed to beat them.
Yeah, so sidekick Kobe Bryant in the hardest era of all time, the the early 2000s. Okay, his numbers throughout that entire player run, especially against the Spurs,
But
were arguably
But you
better
can't
than
use
anything
that when
LeBron
he
did.
has Shaq to lean on. It's not just him. He's leaning on the greatest player that's in the
we're
game at the time.
I just gave you some. Now we're just talking about excuses.
No, yeah, because that's like me telling you Scottie Pippen had to overcome Detroit.
What? Scottie
Exactly.
Pippen's numbers. He was never outscoring Michael.
Yes,
Jordan
because
shooting
let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you. Without Scottie Pippen's 22 points per game in 1991, they don't sweep Detroit.
guard. Okay, what's your point?
That same thing
If
with
you
you.
take Jordan 30 points away, they wouldn't sweep him.
And that's what I'm saying. If you take away Shaq's 30 points per game in all those series that he's bringing up for Kobe, they don't win.
Well,
Oh,
take
so-
Boobie
so-
Gibson 28 points. There's no game 7.
But no,
So
but that's what I'm
Kobe
trying. But
didn't
we're
play
not.
by
Nobody's
himself,
trying.
got it.
But nobody's trying to give Boobie Gibson credit. Y'all trying to give Kobe credit for being Boobie Gibson
You
and being,
literally asked
and being
about Kobe.
Scottie Pippen. Yeah,
You were
but
literally asking.
not when he was Scottie Pippen. Not when he was Boobie Gibson. We're asking you when he was Shaq, when he was LeBron, when he was Michael. That's 05 and on. You don't want to do that. Am I wrong?
Well,
He
the
has
reason-
Shaq to lean
No,
on.
you're absolutely right, man. If we just count half of his career, you're 100% right.
He said
We're
we're not
done-
discounting his
we're done.
career. We're discounting the
I'm
career
just
where he
looking.
was not better than Shaq.
He was better than Shaq in a lot of these series. You're just saying it was
Okay,
Shaq.
hold,
so we
hold,
can't
hold on.
talk
Hey,
about it.
Travis. Let me answer the question. Let me ask you this: did Scottie Pippen have to overcome the Knicks when they were down 0-2?
So you're talking about Scottie Pippen versus Kobe
So I'm
Bryant.
just saying, did he? Because he was the second best player of the team, and he had to bring them back in that series. Are we giving that to Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan?
Scottie Pippen was top 50.
Wait. Scottie Pippen outplayed Jordan in Game 3. What is he
Like,
talking
are we
about?
giving that
Yeah.
to what Jordan did or what Scottie did, or is it just both?
It's a team effort, man. Like obviously the better
It's a
player.
team
Like
effort. Okay. It's
every
a team
series
effort
you
with
look
that one.
at
It's
is
a
going
team
to
effort
be.
with that one. It's a team effort with that one. Okay, we get it. We get it.
When did I not
Understood.
say it was not a team effort? When did I say Kobe carried Shaq or vice versa? Not saying
You're
that.
saying we're
You're-
discounting
we're trying to
Kobe.
find out. We're trying to find out when Kobe overcame some, and you asking us to accept him with Shaq. We can't do that because Shaq was the better player. It was Shaq's
Okay.
team.
You're right.
Everything was
So
built
I can
around
only-
Shaq.
I
But
can
when
only think
we
of-
reversed it to Scottie Pippen is different.
All right. Do you think the San Antonio Spurs went into that series and says, "Yo, we got to stop Kobe instead of Shaq," or are we gonna stop Shaq instead of Kobe?
I don't think Shaq was like they. I thought like they think they could have stopped Shaq, and they did limit him because they had David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and Shaq wasn't just obliterating them. Kobe was the better player in that series. Like obviously they didn't want to. They didn't want to like they didn't think Shaq or Kobe was going to go off the way he did, but obviously the focus is going to be on
How?
Shaq. But
Shaq had
they can defeat- they can-
Shaq had
So if you let them
27,
talk, it
30.
sounded like they was aiming to stop Shaq. If you let them talk, they was aiming to stop Shaq. They just didn't expect Kobe to go off like that. Sound
Of
like
course.
They
I mean-
allow Kobe. I mean,
So
that's what the Pistons did.
we're just talking the narrative as opposed to what happened.
I mean, what happened was they aimed to
What happened
slow
is a sweep,
Shaq
man.
down. They threw multiple bodies at Shaq, and Kobe went off
Sure.
because he got one-on-one coverage.
Now looking at high spike, without
You obviously
without
didn't
Shaq,
watch the series.
Kobe
They
got
were
two more
throwing
than
everything
Shaq.
at both players.
So who was really important in those series? Even though Shaq got the Finals MVPs, who was really important to show that Kobe?
No, I mean, listen, Kobe went off for 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, shooting 51% from the field, 36 from three-point land. He had a great series versus that team. But again,
Shaq still at 27 and 13 too. It's Derek Fisher. I mean, so,
exactly. To 27 and 13, shooting 54% from the field. So Shaq obviously was more, again, he's doing more than that. They're focusing on Shaq. They're focusing on Shaq. They're not focusing on Kobe Bryant. They're trying to slow down Shaq. Shaq is out there, and Kobe Bryant, like he said, is getting one-on-one coverage and able to dominate because of Shaq. He's not struggling to do this. They're sweeping this team. They have no answer for Shaq and Kobe.
Until 2003, because then they came 2003. The Spurs came back and
Yeah, because the Spurs had a better team in 2003. They added some players to their team like Tony Parker.
That's why the Lakers had to go out and get Gary Payton and
Tony
Karl
Parker.
Malone.
Yeah, man.
They got
they're not
better.
gonna-
They did get better as a team. They did
Okay,
get better.
so are we saying that Kobe overcame the Spurs in that series? Is that
in
what
a
we're
sweep.
saying?
In a sweep.
Is
no,
that what we're
you
saying? That
asked,
he
got
overcame?
asked for a series that he played better than Shaq in. This is not referring to him
So,
overcoming.
No,
That,
no
that's
one
your
said
criteria.
that.
He
You
played
just
better
asked
than
to
Shaq.
show
The series that he overcame, that he played better than Shaq. That's what we're saying. Like,
He played-
we're saying that Shaq is the reason that they won those series. So which series did Kobe play Shaq and they overcame from being down or had the
Why do they have
lesser
to be
team?
down? They beat the best team in the league.
That's how you overcome. You don't overcome by sweeping teams and being better. The number one seed is not overcoming the number 8 seed. The number 8 seed will overcome the number 1 seed.
The Spurs. Was
So
the
if I
Spurs
said-
number one seed in 01?
They were number 1 seed in 2001. They were by 2 games.
So by that criteria, by being a number one seed in the Lakers conference, right?
with MVP
So
Duncan.
are you saying the Kobe overcame the Spurs to beat them in 2001, Greg?
All I'm
that
saying
what you're
is
saying?
this Lakers wasn't the best team in the West by record wise.
And Kobe wasn't the best player on the Lakers by far, by far a stretch of imagination. That's the whole point. Kobe's not overcoming nothing when he can lean to Shaq at any moment in time. Talk about
what
Shaq
happened the
here.
first year? What happened the
Okay.
first year? Kobe?
So let's
Kobe
are we
fans don't.
2009
Kobe fans
let's
don't
be
like that
2009.
idea, but like I mean, let's just be real. That's like
It's
again,
just
that's like
reality.
us saying, and that's like us saying Scottie Pippen overcame the Detroit Pistons because in Game 7 the year before he had a migraine, they lost. He comes back the next series, he puts up better numbers, and they sweep them. So he overcame the Detroit Pistons. He overcame the Knicks down 0-2 because he went into a game 3 and outscored Michael Jordan, did everything and won the game for them. And put them back
not
into
fair.
the series.
Or do you
That's
could say
not
in
fair.
'94 he
That's
overcame?
not
Oh
fair,
no, he
Johnny.
didn't overcame.
That's not fair to say that. That's not fair to say that.
He overcame Jordan
We
Lee.
could
in
also say
94.
he overcame the Phoenix Suns because they were putting him on Charles Barkley and double teaming Charles Barkley with him and Horace Grant, and they were able to shut down Charles Barkley as much as possible so the Bulls could win that series. We can easily say these things. We can say,
Well, you
he
asked
overcame.
for-
He overcame the Cleveland series because they were going to lose that series. But if he doesn't start Game 5 in 1988 and score 25
Put up
points,
24.
the Bulls lose that game. And Scottie Pippen had Michael Jordan to lean on the whole time. Y'all never gonna give Scottie Pippen the credit of overcoming anything. So why should we give it to Kobe?
Because Kobe, you asked when did Scottie Pippen outplay Michael Jordan for an entire series? Give me that, lead the team in everything, including scoring. Never.
What you mean? Kobe didn't lead in every category besides
So
everything in
if
that
that
series.
very series we're talking
He
about,
only
he was
outscored him
everything
by
except for, like, blocks?
he outscored him by 6
Rebounds?
points.
Okay.
Shaq had more rebounds. Shaq had more
Cool.
blocks.
Okay,
Shaq
so Kobe
shot
was
better
leading
from the field.
scoring, assists,
Uh-huh.
steals,
Things that
and-
guards are gonna lead in.
Okay, so he
Who
was
averaged a
scoring?
double-double? Who averaged a double-double?
Kobe was the better player.
Right?
Why would he have more rebounds than Shaq? He outscored Shaq.
Why would
Did
he
it
have more
efficiently
assists than
efficiently?
Kobe? Why would he have more steals
So
than
he
Kobe?
was the leader in assists and scoring.
The scoring is all he had. He shot more than him. That doesn't mean you played better.
Answer the question. Show me
okay,
a
there we
series
go.
Pippen outscored Jordan for an entire 5 or 4.
There is not a series where anybody outscored
You
Michael
can't.
Jordan
That's why you
because
have to
there
go.
is not a
You can't.
series you're going to find where somebody took more shots than Michael Jordan.
You can't.
Who took
Don't-
who took more shots in that series versus
that's
San
not answering
Antonio?
my question.
Kobe
That's not answering
or
my-
Shaq?
you can't answer
That
my
is
question.
answering your question because you're asking
You can't
somebody
answer
to
my question
outscore
with a
somebody when
question.
they don't shoot.
Show me a series where Scottie Pippen outscored Jordan in a 7-game or a 4-game.
I can show you a series where Scottie Pippen led in rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. That's facts.
So all we're doing is we're just continuously adding things onto the criteria to try to
No,
score something.
you guys make it seem like outscoring is. You guys make it seem like scoring is the only way of outplaying somebody. Scoring is not the only way. It's not to outplay. And to score, you need the ball. To score, you need the ball. Jordan is not taking the ball 90 feet and scoring. Somebody has to pass it to him. Somebody has to rebound it to him. So Jordan is not scoring just because of Jordan scoring.
What's the point of basketball? How do you
To actually have the possessions, to have more possessions, to have more possessions, to have more possessions. That's the point of basketball.
what do you do
The
with those
most possessions.
What do you do with those possessions? You
Score.
score.
Exactly. Jordan's 33 points per game wasn't winning those series in 1988 or 1987.
And Pippen's 10 points wasn't doing it either.
But his 22 did. When he was scoring 20, they were winning.
41 did.
Every time Scotty scored 20 points per game, the Bulls won. The Bulls lost multiple series where Jordan averaged over 30 points per game.
What?
The Bulls lost multiple series with Jordan averaging over 30 points per game. They've never lost a series when Scotty averaged over 20.
94. What the fuck you talking about?
With Michael Jordan?
94 without Jordan when he had more shots to take. He couldn't even average more than 20.
Well, so now we're talking about when Scotty's by himself.
He wasn't ball hogging. He could have shot 25.
He is by himself. He was by himself.
So he scored every
points.
point that series by himself?
No, that's what y'all say Jordan does.
Negative.
That's what y'all say Jordan does. I keep
Never
telling you
ever once said
the Bulls lost plenty of series with Jordan averaging 30 points per game.
Who said that he scored? I've never said he scored everything by himself. It takes a team to win. We're just arguing in circles.
No.
When did Kobe?
I'm asking you to show me a moment in time in Kobe Bryant's career where he didn't have Shaquille O'Neal, where he was struggling, his team was struggling, and he overcame that particular moment.
Okay, so based on that criteria, I can only think of maybe two instances. That was the Celtics, and you could say maybe against the Nuggets the year before.
Don't do that.
When
That's
they
like
were
saying, don't show me a
down,
series.
or they were
You can't
1-1,
make
losing
me-
on
What?
quarterback.
How? Because y'all argue about Scottie Pippen. Y'all don't want to give Scottie his props.
What do you mean, Scotty?
What?
Scotty was great. We all say without Scotty, there's no 6 championships.
You don't want us to give him his props because you just want us to
No.
hate mindlessly.
No, I'm asking y'all. Are y'all going to accept me saying all these things about Scottie Pippen overcoming during
Yes.
the playoff moments?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Overcoming,
Done.
but you're saying it in a way that he didn't think it was by himself. He contributed to the team effort. It wasn't him doing shit by himself. It wasn't 1-on-5. Don't be disingenuous.
When it's LeBron,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
1-on-5. When it's LeBron,
Y'all
it's
say
1-on-5.
it's 105.
Never. No, it's not.
Y'all say
Yeah,
that's the
it
reason
is.
he left
You're,
Cleveland because
see,
everybody
you
was
brought
continuously
up-
forget that we're not biased.
We brought up series. We brought up series where it was 1-on-5. Besides me bringing up the Spurs series, every series we brought up after this was 1-on-5.
1-on-5.
Yes.
So if I'm going to look at, if I rewatch, then I'm seeing one player playing against 5 people.
More than likely, that's what you're gonna see. LeBron rebounding, passing, assists, and doing everything, leading
Really?
his team in every category.
So he has every.
How many
every
times?
stat.
How many times in the playoff series has Michael Jordan or Kobe led their team in rebounds, assists, points, steals, and blocks? All of it.
I'm going to say probably none. I know Mike came close in '91, but he didn't. He's definitely not going to lead in like.
Okay, so
rebounds.
LeBron's done that.
Led his team in
LeBron's
4
done that multiple
categories for
times.
82
All right, so let's
games.
do it. Let's
Sure.
shorten it. Let's shorten it. Let's do points, rebounds, and assists.
So what? I'm curious. What is your point here?
My point is that that's the 1-on-5. My guy
How
is
is that the 1-on-5?
my guy is because my guy
That
has
sound
to
like
lead
a
it.
ball hog. Who
Because
gotta do-
my
who
no
gotta do everything?
how what's a ball?
How?
You can't.
How? He
Somebody,
always got a ball in hand.
I've
He always
never
got- I'm
heard
gonna
the
grab
leading
every
assist
rebound.
man on any team
I'm
being
gonna
a ball
control.
hog.
I'm gonna control everything. I'm gonna grab every rebound. I'm gonna pass every ball.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take every shot. That sounds like a ball. That's someone who can't play without the ball.
No, I know for a fact LeBron's played an NBA season where somebody took more shots than he did. That never happened for Jordan.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. When did
His
Jordan
second
ever have
season.
somebody take?
Second
Who?
season. His second season. His whole team shot more than him.
No, per game.
The season when he was hurt.
Per game. Not per game. I'm talking about per
What do you
game.
mean? He was on a
All right, guys. You guys are going over this imaginary thing about Kobe, but are we going to concede that LeBron has overcame more than anybody in postseason history, or do we have someone who can match him? Can we bring out somebody who can match him?
Well, only Bill
Overkick.
Russell.
So with your criteria, it's tough because the greats don't usually like get down like 0-3 holes, right? I'd say Hakeem had like the hardest playoff run in history, right? Whenever talks about
Jordan was
that.
down 0-3 a few times, and never, but he got swept. But like what team?
I mean, they gave
what,
your
what,
guy
what
extra
player?
game. He still couldn't win that.
What player? What player have we said they went in as the underdog, or they were down in the series and they had to overcome by doing something spectacular to win?
You're right, Greg. I can't think of anything that when they were down and had to do anything spectacular to win an entire series.
I've seen a guy score.
I mean, Jordan had
Hold on,
9
Phil.
extra years outside of the rings to do that as well. But we did say the Cavs series, that was one.
Maybe this year Anthony Edwards.
No, I
But
mean
that's just one series.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Maybe.
the 69 Celtics with Bill Russell, but I mean I don't think Bill Russell had a great game 7.
FYI Sports Debate, there was no argument for him being Finals MVP in '91. That's just a ridiculous take. I'm sorry. When
How do
Jordan
you-
led in assists, steals, and points.
Now that was a double final,
And
right?
Fields?
33-11. You think?
Let's put the link up. Let's see if
That is
everybody
the clown
else can
take.
come up.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
guys are not
I
really
want to hear the
bringing it up.
clown show.
I mean,
Are you guys? No,
No, there wasn't.
Craig, are you conceding that LeBron James has overcome more than anybody
Yeah,
over here?
because his team sucks of the season. His team
Oh,
sucks of the
and
season.
I-
And that's the
Greg.
criteria.
that's
if
the
you-
Craig.
1-on-5. They're going to 1-on-5. Thank you, Greg, for admitting that. The
I'm just
1-on-5.
saying that's his criteria. Beat a team that had a better
It
record
is
than him.
1-on-5. Craig,
Not
I'm
a
just
big
going to prepare
record,
you,
just a
Craig.
better team.
So, Craig, I'm going to prepare you right now. They're going to come up and they're going to talk about that 91 Lakers, the Bulls series. They're going to bring up the clown switching Pippen onto Magic argument in order to try to justify the Pippen MVP thing. Watch.
But we already disproved that
Johnny
didn't
Who
happen.
said
Exactly.
That's
That's not going to stop them from doing it.
No, but we
Watch.
already proved that didn't happen.
Yeah, Johnny did a
Bill
whole video.
Russell.
They didn't watch
Bill
that show.
Bill Russell has some great moments as well, where he has some game sevens where he had to step up and overcome some things. I think in '64, the finals against against Wilt Chamberlain, if I'm correct. Well, no, they won.
I don't care what Dr. J
4-1.
said. Well, look at the stats, dude. Bring it up.
I'm about to post a link. I'm about to post a link because y'all didn't do a good job. Well, even someone coming remotely close to LeBron.
All right, 19th was it? 19. Damn, I can't even look up 19. Damn, when did? Okay, maybe this time. No, maybe not even this series.
Let the clown
series-
takes commence, dude. I can't wait.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, anyways, y'all, thanks for joining us. It is the GOAT
Why
James.
somebody
King
got to be a
platform
clown
live.
for the obvious? For the
Yeah,
obvious.
They're just saying.
Hit
They're
that
just
like
saying
button. Hit that subscribe
All
button.
right.
Don't be afraid to become a member of the channel, y'all.
points, assists, steals, and blocks.
DJ Killer, let's go ahead and hear your take about a player that has overcome more than LeBron in the playoffs.
Are you there, DJ?
You on?
Come all the time. You have to be a loser to be.
All right, let's go ahead and go to Sturdy. Go ahead, Sturdy.
See everybody. Y'all,
Peace,
see
peace.
everybody. As usual, y'all stopping not talking about point guard. We gotta give it the time, Steve. But I'm be straight with you. I know. Being familiar with this show, I know I can kind of. Somebody got to echo. Johnny has tails when he trolls, right? But in general, like both sides are being disingenuous. And who the hell has an echo?
It's DJ Killer.
You cannot evaluate I don't care who the player is. You cannot evaluate a player's performance by box score stats alone. You do it by impact. So when Travis be disingenuous and say there was using the wrong series to say Kobe Bryant played better than Shaq because he led the series in three categories, that's completely disingenuous because we all know who the hell got that echo? It's a reverb, bro.
That's not coming from you because we don't hear it.
No, it's not for me.
It's not from you. So everybody mute themselves. So study.
So yeah, it's gone, Johnny. But the point is this, right? You can basketball. The better players determine who have the biggest impact on the game, and because of the impact, the opposing teams are game planning for a set impact. So be disingenuous to say, "Oh, Kobe Bryant had a better series than Shaq against the Spurs," when we all know the primary game plan was to slow down Shaq. Is completely disingenuous. Completely disingenuous. Second thing is too. And I'm surprised by the Jordan fans. They bring up this when they shouldn't bring up Jordan overcoming something. Why didn't you bring up overcoming the Magic, a team that he lost to? Matter of fact, he took it personal when he lost to the Magic in '95.
I said
to
it.
become a better player in '96.
Show I said that they didn't say that it count. You got to rewind the tape. They didn't.
No. That's why I said both sides being disingenuous because I'm going back and forth. Because the other side too, that being just because you're the second best player, don't mean you're not overcoming odds too.
The Bulls was a 72-win team. They were superior to the Magic. He didn't have to overcome the Magic. He was superior to them. But I don't hear that. But B Lee, you're smarter than that.
Right. You know, team record alone does not, especially when it comes to the playoffs. But hold on, B Lee. You know, especially in basketball, especially when we're talking about playoffs. Regular season record is irrelevant to the matchups in the playoffs. Completely irrelevant.
But how do you overcome a team that you're just better than, that you didn't struggle against at all?
So
every game of the series.
No. So that makes sense because you have a specific example of an obstacle that you're overcoming. That makes sense, Johnny. But I'm saying it's disingenuous to judge teams by team record. It's disingenuous to judge teams by names and just box score stats. It's take away the important nuances of the game of basketball.
Well, Sturdy, like to add on to that, like it makes sense what you're saying, but the reason why they lost in '94 is because they didn't have Horace Grant, and that's a huge matchup problem as far as getting rebounds and holding, Shaq to, a lesser average in the playoffs. When they got Rodman, it was a lot easier for them to beat Magic or to beat the Orlando Magic. So I don't really think that really counts as
No,
I
no,
mean,
it does count. It does count
No,
for this reason alone. Because even when you look at Jordan's performances, he himself will tell you there was multiple key turnovers that he had in that series that he disliked. There was multiple shots that he missed that he felt that was better. He you find interviews of him saying that himself. Another thing too, a lot of people forget. I can say the same thing about the Orlando Magic in '96. Because last time I checked, Horace Grant wasn't helping during that series either, which
but he
contributed to the Bulls' success too.
yeah, but he didn't play that series. He got knocked out
No,
after game two.
no, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So
No, but no,
it's
but the
not.
whole
It wasn't
argument.
just. It what. Yeah, it wasn't just. No, the point is this, right?
Uh huh.
When we and like, I'm not denying overcoming obstacles. Meaning it's a variety of things. It's not just based off expectations of team record and names. Y'all got to stop. Y'all better than that.
No,
Because
we didn't do that.
even
No, we didn't do
Sturdy,
that.
Sturdy,
No, Sturdy.
were you surprised that the Bulls beat the Magics?
I just told you. Oh, well, at that
No,
time
you were not
I was a
surprised.
kid,
Nobody was
so
No,
surprised.
no,
but
I
no,
was
but
a
Nobody
this
kid.
is
was
No, no, no,
surprised.
no, 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 no.
Was
Believe,
anybody
believe.
surprised that the Bulls beat the Magic? Nobody was. They were 72.
they were the favorites.
no, but the
They were
argument that
the,
he's trying to no, the argument he's trying to defend is Travis's argument about how Kobe is able to overcome something while we're telling him no because he had Shaq. So we're saying so that's the argument. We're not talking about Kobe not having a chance to overcome. Are you telling us that because Kobe, whatever, and there was a moment in time during that span, that three-peat span that he had Shaq, that he had to overcome something with Shaq?
Johnny,
Yeah, yeah. So
you should have
I
said
would
as
say,
the best
I would
player.
say,
You should have said as the best
no, no.
player.
I would say,
But
but
we
I say
don't have to say
regardless,
as the best
regardless.
player because
No, no, but
that's a
Johnny,
part of it.
but no, but I'm saying no. We don't have to be disingenuous and say because you're not the best player, you're not overcoming great odds. That affects your legacy. For example, even despite they were down that series against the Kings, both those guys had to overcome adversity. Shaq and Kobe. Just because Kobe was not the best player, don't mean he had not overcome adversity either. So they both had to overcome that. And I'll say nothing too against the Portland Trailblazers. Their first title run, they were down in that series too. There was multiple games they were down double digits. That's overcoming obstacles. Both guys had to update performance to overcome. So I'm not just like because he was the best player, it don't count towards his legacy or a moment towards him overcoming.
That seems
That
weird
counts.
though. That seems weird though for a fan base like Kobe Bryant fans who love to talk about somebody being able to just do it on their own and being the bulldog or being the alpha, the Kobe mentality, the Mamba mentality, and you're here telling me that he had Shaq to help him overcome a lot of things.
That's why you're not talking to a Kobe fan. You're talking to a logical
No,
fan.
no, I
You're
got you.
talking to a fan.
But we were talking to a Kobe fan. We were talking to Travis. I'm
Like
just
that.
being real. Craig, you on mute. Craig, you on mute. Craig.
I just
Yeah,
said,
but
the only reason
I'm
why
being
you
long
brought
winded.
that
I'm
up
being long
because
winded.
I'm the
you
most
said find
unbiased Kobe fan there is.
you said find the
okay.
series with Shaq that he played better in. That's what the whole original conversation was
No,
about.
the
Find
reason was what
because he
series did he
wanted to
overcome
mention
while
he,
playing better than Shaq? That's what it was.
yeah, he
Not a
wanted to
series he
find.
played better than Shaq. That
Yeah,
has
and
nothing to do with what we're talking
he only
about.
got
I mean, if you
2001. So
how can you
No, and
overcome
y'all,
with Shaq if you don't play better than him? How come you can't say Kobe play if you don't think he played
I
better
don't
than him?
think I don't think Kobe ever outplayed Shaq. I just believe Kobe had easy opportunities because there is a Shaq on his team. Because everybody's focusing to stop Shaq. The game plan is built to get Shaq the ball. The game plan is built to stop Shaq on the other side of the ball. Kobe's just getting the
Now
residuals
apply
of
that
this.
logic to a 6'6" guard.
The same way Scottie
nah,
Pippen was getting the residuals
Now
of
apply
Jordan's
that
30
logic
points
to
per
a
game.
6'6" guard.
I
That's
just
what
want
I
to say
see it
this.
as.
But I was long with it. I was long with it. I just want to pass the mic with this, right? After I say this, yes, definitely, it should definitely count if a player overcomes R, regardless if he's the best player or not. If you're part of that team, if you're a huge proponent of that championship success and there's adversity in your path toward the championship, you overcome that, that should count regardless of who the player is. Whether it's Pippen, Kobe, Shaq, it don't matter.
See, so
Wait,
that's what
That
we
should
said.
Okay.
But when
All
we
right.
said
All right.
Pippen, they got mad.
So what series are okay, Sturdy? What series are you giving Kobe that he overcame to win a series with
He just
Shaq?
named
Oh,
two of them.
yeah, no, I can do this whole career. The first one with Portland Trail Blazers, Western Conference Finals in 99 2000.
Okay.
The first championship run. That's overcoming. The second one too.
Portland.
Nothing like
What else?
after. Hold on.
Yeah,
Another. I'm trying to go in chronological order. Just the big moments. Another one against the Pacers when coming back from injury after Jalen Rose undercut him, he still had to perform in overtime to help the Lakers secure that series when Shaq fouled out. That's still a moment to
Okay.
overcome.
Okay. That's three. I mean, that's two. What's another one?
Okay. In 2000, what was it 2002? Yeah,
Yep.
2002 when they were down. Yeah, in 2002 when they were down against the Kings, he had to elevate his game. I believe since they pointed that down with help with the refs, of course,
Okay,
he
that's three.
still averaged nearly like 40 points per game from like I
That's
think
three.
game 3 and on.
So we
Okay.
put an
All right.
asterisk
So
on that one, right?
okay. Anyone else in
That
Kobe's
whole
career? Anyone else in Kobe's career?
Anyone else
I
or
Nah,
you or
already,
any more moments?
2005.
I already gave you against the Celtics, probably against the Nuggets too. That was a tough
The
series. They were
Celtics and
locking the
the
door.
Celtics and well, the Nuggets in 2009 and the Celtics in 2010. That's what you're saying.
Arguably one of the toughest series ever played. Sure.
Okay. What
Yeah, yeah.
else? Is that all five
That's that's
for
that's
Kobe?
a, that's pretty. Yeah, I'll top of my head. I can. The terms of major ones, there's like 5 or 6. They ain't
Yeah,
that
according to your
That
so just
criteria,
off
that's
my
that's
more
head.
major
than
ones.
Jeffrey.
Okay.
According to
That's
his
more than
criteria.
Jeffrey.
According to
Listen,
his criteria.
Okay. Five series. So Portland. It was definitely the most dominant player in that series was Shaq. The most dominant player in the Pacers series was Shaq.
Didn't
So
that
right
Portland
now
team
we are
have the
down
best
to
record in the
three.
league?
Yeah.
No,
So
so
right now
once
we are down to three. So
no, that's, why is it
2009,
disqualified because Kobe wasn't the best player? Why is that disqualified?
yeah, because he wasn't the main catalyst of that team. So in 2009,
What?
they didn't have to overcome Denver. The Lakers were a better team than Denver. So you're down to two. 2010, I would give you that because they were down 3 games to 2, and the Kings. I'm gonna give you the Kings because of the refs. So in all, I would give Kobe 2 times in his postseason career. He had to overcome to win a series.
But didn't the refs help the Lakers?
I'm gonna
No,
just
but it's
give
still the
they
Lakers. The
keep
Lakers
saying
still had
they
the
keep
Lakers
saying
still had the Lakers still had to win in Game 7.
That was
They still
arguably
had
one
to
of
do
the best series ever. Love that series. 2002 Kings
Yeah, but
were
the
like
refs,
"Hey,
the
that's
refs
cool. That's
help.
cool. I'm gonna give
Kings shot more free throws,
Kobe two
John,
of
that
them.
entire
All right,
series.
that's 30. All right. Let's go ahead to who came in next. New World, you came in next.
hey, what's up, man?
All right, what's good? So just going on by we named like 6 or 7 things for LeBron series that he had overcome. What player are you gonna put up to rival what LeBron did in the playoffs?
To rival LeBron, that's really difficult. Um, I did agree with Lamont earlier when he said Bill Russell, because outside of what was going on, during the NBA, like the championships and whatnot, he's also dealing with the racial issues and segregation at that time. So if you're including off the court stuff, I think him and Kareem probably have had pressure similar to what LeBron has had to deal with in his career with the social media and whatnot. Obviously, it's different, but you know, with the time period, we can kind of speculate as to how much bullshit Kareem and Bill Russell had to go
Yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Off the court is different. So let's just stick to on court. On
on
court.
court, on court, nobody. That man is the king of the playoffs. You can't compare nobody to him in his postseason runs as far as overcoming. Like maybe people have overcome a few, but just the sheer number of series that LeBron has had to overcome in the playoffs, it's hard to really find anybody comparable to that.
Okay. I agree with you 100%. All right, Lamont, let's go ahead and try to educate the panel on
Man, look,
who
this
rivals
is
LeBron.
well, no, well, I think y'all, this is a setup question because I think y'all know playoff wise, nobody really rivals LeBron. Is especially now that see, I like the fact that people like T Perfect, they like to align themselves with stats when it's convenient. Like he said with Jordan versus the Lakers, that was very convenient to run off Jordan's numbers to say that's why Jordan won the Finals MVP when I think you guys forget that the Finals MVP is just a 7-game award. And there have been many times in NBA history when that award's been given to the most impactful player, not the guy with the best stats. We can go
Here
to
comes Craig.
we can go to a guy like Wes Unseld. Wes Unseld was the 3rd best player on the team. 9 points a game, won Finals MVP. Andre Iguodala was not the best player on the team, won the Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard averaging 15 points a game, the most impactful player though, won the Finals MVP. We can go through the list of all of the players in the NBA. Cedric Maxwell, definitely not the best player on the Celtics, won the Finals MVP. Joe Dumars definitely was not better than Isaiah Thomas. He still won Finals MVP. James Worthy won Finals MVP in '88. So what I'm
Tony
saying
Parker.
is, so
Tony
what
Parker
I'm
in
saying
07.
is, so when I say, so it's crazy how it's okay for those guys to win Finals MVP, but when it comes time to give Scottie Pippen just a little bit of credit, and the argument arises that he could have been Finals MVP in 1991, the Jordan fans they panties get caught up in the bunch. They start running the numbers and stats, and they forget about what was happening in the moment in that particular series. And no, T Perfect, it had nothing to do with Scottie Pippen, that the narrative that Scottie Pippen guarded Magic, because Phil Jackson made it clear he only used Scottie Pippen in very spot moments to help Jordan out, because Jordan was the primary defender on Magic, but Scottie Pippen changed that series, not just with his increase in point production, but his ability to defend multiple positions, switching from Magic to
even
James
said it.
Worthy to
Magic
even
even
Byron
said it,
Scott.
too.
So what I'm saying is the most impactful player in that series, it could be argued that it was Scottie Pippen. Of course, we all know that Jordan was the best player on that team, but the NBA Finals MVP award a lot of times doesn't go to the best player on the team. It goes to the most impactful player. So I think Jordan fans
96 as well.
It's the same
96 as
thing.
well.
Jordan fans get caught up in they panties get caught up in the bunch when you say Pippen did something better than Michael Jordan. I think 96, 91 was some series, even some of the series versus the New York Knicks, it could be argued that Pippen was more impactful. No, it does not mean Pippen was a better player. It just means in that moment, he might have had a better stretch of games, just like against the Blazers in that game 6. Who was the most impactful player in that game? T Perfect might run to Jordan's 30-plus points. A lot of people might argue with Scottie Pippen, who led that bench unit. They were down 15 points, and he led the comeback by himself with the bench players. That Jordan even said after the game, that was the most impactful. He was the most impactful player. Huh?
You mean Kobe?
No, I'm talking about 92 when Jordan got benched and Pippen led the comeback when they were down versus the Blazers.
Yeah,
See,
no, I mean,
the
I'm
thing
not
is,
saying...
hold on. We sat there and watched Magic Johnson win the Finals MVP off one game. Kareem dominated statistically that series.
Agreed.
But because Magic was impactful in that game when Kareem was out, he won the Finals MVP. He was not the best player on that team. So let's not get caught up whenever people say that somebody outclassed Jordan in some particular instance. Y'all get all riled up as if it's going to affect his GOAT narrative. Jordan's okay. He's going to be in that GOAT narrative still, just because LeBron or just because of Pippen or just because somebody does something better than him at one particular time. It does not take any notches off his GOAT conversation. That's where y'all get to go sad from. So T Perfect, don't fall into that narrative where Don't fall into the narrative where you running the stats to save Michael Jordan, because what's going to happen is, when you get into one of these arguments about LeBron James, they're going to run the stats. And if you start playing with stats with LeBron and Michael Jordan, you're going to get severely outclassed, because LeBron basically outclasses every player in NBA history statistically. So again, don't use stats when it would just to try to paint a picture, when that's not how the NBA Finals MVP award was ever given out. It's never given out based on stats. It's always been given out based on impact. And y'all forget about Scottie Pippen's impact. That's what y'all forget about. Y'all, when they were talking about Scottie Pippen doesn't get the same credit that Kobe does, because you heard this guy Craig, he kept talking about points. Kobe scored points. Y'all forget about Pippen's his impact had a lot to do with things where he didn't even get involved, where he was passing the ball, where he was facilitating offense, where he was defending. He did a lot of things that there was no statistical running measurement to count. So he don't get credit for it. That's why the 90s stupidly never gave him a defensive player of the year, because he wasn't a 7-foot center that could go get 5 blocks a game. And there was no running tally that accumulated to show you guys how good he was defensively. So
Peyton won it in 96.
Yeah, well, what did he do? He led the league in steals, and it was a narrative award because of what? The Seattle Supersonics was the most entertaining team in the league. And then y'all shit on Gary Payton when he got dominated by Jordan in the NBA Finals.
Or second best. No, I'm not. LeBron, I agree with you.
No.
You can't always measure impact based on stats, 100%. That's why I think Iguodala totally... I mean, it's because he held LeBron slightly below his average when he was guarding him. I think he still robbed Curry that season or that series. But
They don't win that series without
argument
Iguodala. That's the fact.
There's no
That's why
argument
he
you can
won
make
the
that Pippen
award.
was the most impactful player. He wasn't guarding the best player. Worthy was lighting him up defensively.
No, see what you're doing is you're running. See, that's why I like playing the old games, because when you play the old games, you actually listen to what was said in the moment. If you read the newspaper clippings to hear what was being talked about in the moment, then you see the impact. See, you trying to regurgitate the impact, and when I just watched the entire series, when I heard what the announcers were saying, when I saw the Florida game, when I saw no, he was the better player. He was not the more impactful player. Two different things.
Sure, he was.
So again, you're running total stats. The player that really changed the ties of that series, that gave the Bulls an edge, was Scottie Pippen. That's who that player that changed things.
Not Mike shooting 31% on 50 or 31 points on 55% shooting, leading the team in assists, steals, and blocks.
But you're running into these stats. You're running into these
too.
stats. That's not what I said. Made Pippen impactful.
Hey Travis, who led the Bulls in points and rebounds in the closeout game?
Okay, so you could say that AD was by far the most impactful player defensively, right, in 2020 finals.
Yes, in 2020, if AD doesn't get hurt, he was the most impactful player in that series. So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of times where the most impactful player is not the leader in stats.
Sure, but you can
I'm talking about the Finals MVP award. It's okay for somebody to say that maybe Pippen should have won one or two of those because he was more impactful in that particular 5 or 6 game stretch.
You can say that.
I think nobody talked about 98 enough before he got hurt. I think his impact was crazy in 98 before he hurt his back.
I agree. That's why he was top 10 in MVP voting in 98 still, even though he played less than 50 games, because when he was on the court, he was unbelievably good. Even though people like to run around and act like he was out the whole year and he was no good and he was injured, he was still giving you the same production with a bad back.
I just think it's crazy because they run the stats, but Pippen that led in all the stats except for scoring in one of those finals and still didn't get the finals MVP. So just running the stats is not a good argument when it comes to impact.
Well, I'm just talking about the 7-game award. I think what y'all have done is y'all given so much value to Finals MVP because Jordan has 6 of them, when it's really not that impressive of an award because it's only a 7-game award. It's really not that impressive.
It's the least credible award out.
What I'm saying is y'all be bloviating it, and then when we say another player should have earned it, you go crazy. No, it should have been Jordan. No, Jordan was by. No, it's okay.
I don't mind if another player doesn't win it, but you got to come with more than just I think he was most impactful. Like by what measurement? You're just saying he could guard.
No, what my argument? I only made I know Jordan won it. My only argument was Pippen had a case to win it too. Just like Steph Curry had a case to win it when Andre Iguodala won it. Just like other players had. Just like Magic had a case when James Worthy won it. Just like Kareem had a case when Magic won it. Yeah, other people have cases.
All right, so basically, what Sturdy and Lamont are saying is that, since you guys want to say Kobe could overcome certain series, no matter if he was the better player.
No, I didn't say nothing about no Kobe overcoming.
No, because this is what the whole argument started with Scottie Pippen. Because the idea was that I brought up Scottie Pippen to say, well, then if we can let Kobe have this overcoming moments for the playoffs, we should have the same ones for Scottie. And you guys are saying that's also true.
And Johnny, this is what I just said. The reason why they don't know how to give Scottie credit is because a lot of the things that Scottie did great, just like T Perfect fell, there ain't no running total stat that lets them know he was great. Defense don't really get rewarded. Great defenders, great playmakers really don't get rewarded. This is why they'll say Kobe. They'll just say Kobe was able to overcome because he could score 28 points right with Shaq, even though he took 29, 30 shots. And Shaq might only took 15 to 17. So
don't mention the shots. Don't mention the amount of shots being taken. Don't mention the
y'all
shots.
Only look at points. A lot of people only care about the points. They don't care about the entire game. You defend far more than you play offense. You're on defense way more than you're on offense in a basketball game. And to knock a guy like Scottie Pippen, who was elite on that end of the floor, and act like he didn't overcome humongous obstacles, like in 1998 when he was injured. Man, it must be crazy.
No one's knocking Scottie Pippen.
He overcame. He overcame, if not more, he might have overcame more than Scottie.
No, but the moments. I mean,
a lot of people do though. guys, let's
Hey,
move
Johnny,
on.
hey, my fault, my fault. Just to
Ishmael
clarify,
hasn't had a chance to say anything yet about the topic, so let's go ahead and
yeah,
get
yeah,
Ishmael in there, and then the DJ Killer, so everybody have a chance to say what they had to say.
Hey y'all. I don't think I really like this type of question because it kind of sets up some slander for LeBron James, in my opinion. Like if we're gonna give like credit for LeBron overcoming situations, then I guess we gotta give, some L's for LeBron for losing in situations that he should have won, I guess. I just don't think I really like like the question because it kind of sets up the slander, and it is set up in
What,
a way
what
like
situation are you talking about with LeBron that he should have won that he lost?
He only could be talking about 2011.
No,
no.
28 too.
No, I would say
2009
I
was
would
the
say
only
yeah,
series.
I would say that it's more favorable in terms of he probably should have went to the finals, even though he played well against in 2009 against Orlando. I think they should have won that. They were the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think
That series to understand why they lost that series. All you had to do is watch
So
that series.
average scoring
No,
is
no, but
30.
record don't count now.
I
No,
watched
no,
this
no,
series.
no.
I definitely
Uh-oh.
I
The record
remember
don't
that.
count now. Now all of a sudden the record don't count.
no,
Now you gotta
because
go
the
about
point.
what the team did at that
No, the
series.
point
Yeah,
is
see, like, that's what I'm
But
saying,
you guys
like,
are missing the
see what
point
I
from the
mean?
The
beginning.
30
Wait.
said records
Hold on,
don't
wait,
mean
hold on, wait.
nothing though.
We sat here. Hold on, wait, guys. We sat here and
Yeah,
gave
I'm
y'all
trying to be objective.
examples. No, wait. We gave y'all examples of LeBron James being in a position where he was about to lose or was supposed to lose, but he overcame that by having a spectacular moment. So when we brought up Detroit in 2007, him scoring 25 straight points in the fourth quarter in the game 5 is a part of him overcoming that because that's something that was needed. The 2012, you're down 3-2, you're going into Boston. He goes in there and gives you 45 points and lights it up and dominates the entire game. These were the examples that were given. We brought up 2018. I believe that was another one that we brought up. So these are the examples that we're giving up. You guys are avoiding all of this because there's no other players that we can use to say, well, it was because of like Magic overcoming something. You losing your big man. It's a game 6. You step up. You give a big performance. Whereas these performances from Kobe and Michael is where the argument starts. Because
Well, you can
we
go to
don't
98
have
when he
this.
scored 45
We don't
in game
have
6.
this with these goals.
You can go to
these
Utah
guys.
in 98 when he scored half the team points.
On 35 shots.
So
But okay.
what?
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is that I
Wait,
just think
what
that
did he overcome in 1998? Where were the Bulls struggling ever in any playoff series for you to say that Michael Jordan had
Oh, my
to
bad. Yeah, the
overcome
Goats
something?
don't struggle in the finals. My
Never-
See,
bad.
there you go. See, look, there we go.
My
There
bad.
we
As a
go.
team-
Because
as-
no,
as a
because
team, the
your
Bulls
goat when he
never-
struggles, he just quits. When he's up 2-1 and he's up 2-1 and he loses 2 straight games and go down 3-2, he just quits. When he's down 2-0, he just quits. He doesn't
yeah.
Hey, Johnny,
fight
can I say
hard.
this? Can I say this real quick? But I do think, hey, Johnny's kind of restrictive to say overcome is only down when you're in a series. When there's a number of obstacles that you could occur in a series that you can overcome. For example, the recent example, even though the Nuggets won this series of 5 against the Lakers, they were down in every single game, double digits. That's overcoming adversity. Last time I checked, if you're down double digits in the game, you have to overcome that to win. I would consider that overcome adversity, even though they was never down in the series.
Okay,
I don't.
see,
It's
like
Darvin
okay,
scam.
And wait,
Go ahead, Ishmael. Continue, Ishmael. Go ahead.
Why was,
Okay,
he-
so-
why was Cleveland
like,
down?
what is the type of criteria for this? Can it be does it have to be a
You gotta
playoff
lose-
series?
you
Can
gotta
it be a
lose
playoff
early.
Yes,
run?
it's overcoming. It's overcoming struggles in the
overcoming.
playoffs.
Yeah. So LeBron overcame his own struggles in that Detroit series. Game 1, 10 points. Game 2, 19 points. Come on. You're not going to see like when we're holding this like why was he struggling because he sucked balls in a lot of these series that he overcame.
And when we say that, and when we say that for 1988, when Jordan goes up
Just like in
and
2008.
he splits the series 2-1, 1-1, and he gives you 23 points, 24 points, and 25 points, and the Bulls lose 3 straight games.
Oh, sorry. Is that 10 points on fucking 30% shooting?
It doesn't
Travis,
matter.
I think-
It doesn't
Travis,
matter.
I think
it's
you
an
do
shoot as much as
underperformance by Jordan. No one says Jordan played great, scoring 23 points.
Down in 2008.
No
versus the
one
Celtics
says
up.
Jordan played great, scoring 23 points.
And then you
Hold on,
melt
hold
down
on.
and you score 19 points.
Hold on,
Again,
let me ask you.
shooting.
Hey, Johnny, my question would be,
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
My question would be, why is LeBron even in this conversation, T Perfect?
Because they brought him up. What do you think?
No, hold on.
every
T Perfect. But T Perfect, let's say that they didn't bring him up. Does LeBron belong in this conversation?
Of what? What conversation?
When we talking about some of the greatest players to overcome tough obstacles in the postseason, does LeBron belong in the conversation?
Sure.
Now, LeBron belongs in the conversation because you've ran through basketball reference and nitpicked the bad games, or is he in this conversation because of the crazy number of great performances in great games?
I didn't see where your question is relevant.
So what I'm saying is you just went down the road. What I'm saying, you just went down the road of nitpicking.
No, I'm adding context.
What I just said was you just went down the road of nitpicking LeBron's worst games.
Nitpicking?
Hold on. But you've literally etched his bad games into your memory so you can recall them and have conversations like this when LeBron is in this conversation because he has 10 times the amount of great games.
No, that's
for every bad playoff game that LeBron has.
He's proving our point. He scored 10 points in game 1. They lost. He didn't play good in game 2. They lost. He had to overcome that by playing great in game 5. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had 2 straight games where he put 23 and 24 points. Where was he overcoming at?
Yeah. He was also shooting. I think he was averaging like 10 plus free throws. He shot like over 70 free throws in 98. So
he's struggling. His team is down 3-1. He gave you 2 straight bad games. Did Michael Jordan overcome that? No.
So Lamont. Here's the thing. I'm not discrediting. I'm not saying LeBron is. He doesn't have a huge number of games where he had to overcome things. Like we talked about that like for the first hour, 100%. But when you sit here and talk about like everything he had to overcome and it has no context. Some of that is his own doing. Like, for example, when he's playing poor, and then he comes back, sure. And we're knocking I have a problem with that because we're knocking some of the greats, as you heard, because like Kobe, things like that, because they never had to overcome or dig themselves out of a hole.
No, because they never overcame their struggles. They struggled and they lost. When they struggled, they just lost. They never overcame anything.
But what y'all forget is that
the Spurs, right?
What y'all forget is that
they didn't struggle against the Spurs.
Exactly.
But T-Perfect, when you're dealing with star players, generally they have to overcome circumstances or problems that they created themselves because they're the stars. So a lot of times when Jordan had to overcome, so what I'm saying is when we talk about players having to overcome, they usually put themselves in these situations where they have to overcome a whole bunch of obstacles because of, just like Johnny mentioned, past poor performances where they now have to, get that out your memory. You got to perform better. Kobe did it a ton. Kobe would do that a ton, but have bounced back. Jordan did it a ton. When he shoots 3 for 19 and shoots these crazy low percentages in the playoffs, and then he has these big bounce back games. So again, you counter everything. The best way to counter Johnny is just to counter it with Jordan's overcoming moments, which it seems like you're struggling to do because you're just so hyper focused on LeBron's bad games.
No, they don't know Jordan's career.
They don't.
They don't.
Very selective hearing.
They don't. They brought up 93. They did bring up 93.
I brought up at least 4 or 5 Jordan
you brought up 93. They brought up 93. They brought up 1991 against Detroit, which we was like, we can't bring up Detroit because they swept Detroit. They never really
I brought up 93, 98, 97.
And listen, every time Jordan struggled, he lost. That's just it. They're mad.
His worst playoff series was arguably 96. They won in the finals.
More reason why Scottie Pippen MVP.
They still have the best team.
But you know what it is?
95 was his worst.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you know what it is, Johnny?
Anyway.
No. You know what it is, Johnny? Is like the Bulls great team, great dynasty don't get enough credit for the times when Jordan underperformed and the team stepped up. For example, and when it was going against your Heat, right, in 97, and Jordan was having a atrocious scoring series, the team still won in 5 games because of the efforts defensively. When Lamont brought up a moment earlier when Jordan was deviating from the offense, resulting in the Bulls being down double digits, Scottie Pippen led the comeback, and of course Jordan closed it out. That's due to Jordan scoring, but Scottie Pippen don't get that credit. They're the only dynasty in NBA history that don't get that credit as a team. We don't remember those moments.
The problem is this.
What?
And Jordan fans clearly don't either.
Jordan averaged 27 points per game against the Sonics. He struggled. They won. So we can use that to fit their narrative of the argument. But when he averaged 27 and lose, he didn't struggle. Do you understand the problem?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Do you understand my
contradiction.
problem? It's all contradiction. It all started because, again, they don't know Michael Jordan's career. It's easy to say Michael Jordan's an apex predator and never struggled. That's why he's the GOAT. But it's hard to sit back and look at it objectively and say, damn, there were times Jordan did struggle and his team helped him win. But that's not Jordan overcoming anything, because where is the great moment? Where's the game 6 against the Boston Celtics? Where's the game 5?
The game 6 in '98 in Utah, 45 fucking points.
But they weren't struggling in that series. They're
No. Hey Johnny, that's nothing too. Hold on, hey Johnny, you gotta stop that. They were struggling. Like that's the thing. Everybody does have definition of struggle. Even though they were up in that series, they were in '98, especially for Game 6. A lot of expectation in that regard. The Bulls don't get it done tonight, they're most likely gonna lose the series because of the health of Scottie Pippen, because of everything else that was going on with that team, and Dennis Rodman too.
And the refs too. Don't forget about the refs.
That's overcoming adversity. And I'll say the same thing too. Hold on.
It's not
Hold on. I said a better thing. Hold on, hey Johnny. I said a better thing.
Adversity. We're talking about playoff moments where you overcame. You had an overcoming moment in that playoffs. The Bulls being.
I'll give you another one. I believe it was Game 5. I believe it was Game 5. Or was it '93 against the Knicks? One of those Knicks series when they were down 0-2.
No, they were down 0-2
We talked about how
against the Knicks. We said
Scottie
that.
played well.
Scottie Pippen played great at Game 3, but also Jordan played great at Game 4.
Yeah, because Jordan scored like 50 points in Game 4. Jordan went ham Game 4. He went ham in Game 5. The Bulls won 4 straight games. They beat the Knicks 4-2, I believe, in that series, if I'm correct.
No, 7. That was 7 games.
Do they have to have a series that they're struggling in?
They did.
No, but that's a moment that we accepted that Jordan overcame. We never said Jordan didn't overcome it.
Yeah,
we accepted it.
Gave that to Jordan.
We gave that to Jordan. We just said that he didn't have as much as LeBron. We just said he didn't have as much as LeBron. We
What
gave
if
the
they're the
Cavs
underdogs? What if they're the underdogs coming into the playoffs? Like, is that, and they end up winning the whole thing? Could that be a moment of overcoming something, or it has to be a?
They have to be down like 0-2 or 0-3. And then they have to
Pistons winning.
No, Ishmael. But hold on. By the criteria that B least put, that's one of the criteria, like being down to that degree. In my opinion, you can still face adversity even during a game. If my team overcomes double digits in a game, we overcame adversity.
I mean, nobody brought up games.
All right, so if they're the underdogs in the playoff series, but they're winning games like 4-1 and 4-0 and stuff like that, are they considered to be overcoming? So even though they're the underdogs?
Yes.
Nah. Because the
underdogs, it just depends. No, it just depends.
No, because the underdogs is basically based on betting, right? If what's up, Ralph? Thanks for joining us. The point of the idea was we didn't say LeBron, because in reality the Heat was favored, I think, against Boston in 2012.
Because they were all beat up.
Wait, hold on. Was it?
2012 it was Boston because Bosh was out.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Like, I don't think they was favored. Not 20.
That's what I'm trying to see.
And that's why you can't go off names. You got to go off the context of the situation that happened.
But we never really brought up favorites. We brought up the idea of being down or being in a struggling situation. Like the what I'm saying was, here is a moment in time. Everybody's looking at you and saying, "What are you going to do?" Like this is your moment. This is your time. This is your span. 2006 was one of those moments. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I see what you're saying. Overcoming adversity.
It's like saying the Heat overcame the Thunder because the Thunder was the favorite. No, the Heat dominated the Thunder.
That's I got you.
They were hold on, believe they were down 0-1. They were down 0-1, so we're not.
Mind you, the criteria has to include the great playoff performance as well. So it has to include the great playoff performance because we're talking about
down 0-1 in '98 to Utah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being petty.
That type of thing eliminates a lot of players.
But nobody brought up '98, the Indiana Pacers series where the Bulls had to go 7 games and Jordan played a phenomenal.
It's crazy.
A phenomenal.
That's why I can't.
Oh, that was Steve Kerr that overcame. Steve Kerr overcame and closed that game out. No. That was Steve Kerr.
Well,
For sure.
maybe Ralph can save you guys because I know Ishmael.
Ain't no
were you done,
statement. Y'all
Ishmael?
got these criteria
It's like
that only
Gibson
fit
scored
your
31
guy.
points.
I wanted to
The
I
Spurs.
wanted to address
he
the
didn't- he wasn't down.
blasphemousness of saying Scotty could have won a
Every
Finals
time we
MVP.
brought up something,
Right?
he
Ralph, help
wasn't
me out,
down,
dude.
or he
Okay,
did this.
Ralph,
So
Ralph,
don't
you
give
say-
us
you
that
say-
save us.
you-
It's your criteria is only fit your guy.
Yeah, it does. Of course, it's Go James Kingdom. That's what we
Yeah,
did.
because your guy
Yeah.
always loses early.
Criteria is
LeBron,
You don't know how to
Craig.
feel to be up
Let us
1-0 in the
know.
series.
Let us know that the criteria should be. We're listening. We're listening.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Don't lose. Don't lose.
What
That's I'm saying.
happened?
Just
I mean,
don't
Lamont
lose in
is
the finals.
Lamont is right
Craig,
though.
no,
This
no,
kind of question
no,
is
Ralph,
set up.
Ralph,
in
hold on,
favor
hold
of
on, Ralph,
LeBron James,
Ralph.
Yeah, hold on for
though.
a second.
Huh?
Hold on for a second. First,
Uh-huh.
before Ralph go, let's give Craig the criteria for overcoming in the playoffs, so Ralph could answer this better.
No, he going to
Because he
answer it
said
the way
that
y'all
this criteria only
is.
fits LeBron.
We ain't going to change it up now. We've been arguing about your criteria for an hour and a half. We ain't going to do another hour on mine.
So
Ralph,
okay,
Ralph, you got to
go
be
ahead, Ralph.
honest
Go
and
ahead, Ralph.
you got to be honest and
Go
say
ahead,
that the reason why I said this was a setup question for LeBron is because LeBron has played against the most significant competition in the postseason, far superior than what we saw in the 90s, far superior to what those guys went through in the 80s and 70s. So what I'm saying is he's overcome more. The reason why it's a setup question because LeBron's not only played 20 years, but he's played against some of the craziest competition ever in the playoffs, which again, it could be argued. I don't want to say y'all can take it for it. Jordan has some of the weakest competition in the finals ever. You know, it could be argued that Magic. It could be argued that Magic played in one of the weakest Western conferences ever. Like, I mean, look,
it was definitely
I
the
wouldn't
weakest.
say the weakest, but
Yes,
mean,
like that's a lot of people don't know
the
that.
reason
A
why
lot
y'all
of people don't know the
Hold on.
history.
I'm
They
not
don't know
gonna
the
say
history.
No,
Y'all
Ralph,
struggling
Ralph,
to find these
has
moments
another.
'cause
Ralph
he
has
didn't have no
another
comp.
angle. No, Ralph has another
It
angle.
said
Ralph.
Jordan's finals opponents had the same win-loss record as LeBron's final losses. So don't go here with that competition.
I'm not going to say the
Jordan's
Hey, hold on.
competition
Hey,
was
so
nothing.
Ralph,
Greg, that's not true either.
LeBron
Greg, that's not
wasn't
true
I've
either.
got to-
Hey,
I've
can
got
I
to-
ask you a
What you
question?
just said isn't true either.
So does win-loss record make you a
Now, let's let
They
Ralph go.
both- they
Let's
both
let
had
part
Ralph
of
go.
it,
the
but
last
it's not
record
the
in
end all be
finals.
all.
Hold
They
on. So
both
does
got
your
it in the
win-loss
finals.
record make you just as good of a team?
Hey, they got
It's not the
same
end all
record.
be all,
They had to do it in
but
the finals.
it has something to do
Hey,
a
so
little bit.
Brandon,
Go
did
James Kingdom.
so Brandon,
So
did,
if
60 win Atlanta
did
Hawks.
LeBron-
was weak, then
60 win
LeBron
Atlanta
was the
Hawks
weak
team should
competition.
have went to the finals.
So Brandon, did Daniel Gibson overcome the Detroit Pistons in Game 7 when he scored 31 points and LeBron had another dud, shooting 27%?
Yes, if Kobe overcame Shaq scoring
Yes.
27 and
Yes.
13,
Give it
yes.
to
So
Boogie
he had
Gibson.
Yes.
3 games shooting sub 30 and scoring under 20 points a game.
There you go with
Fantastic.
shooting the sub 30. You're right. He
So-
shot sub
and
30,
his-
but he won.
basically
Did he
his
win
team
the
carried him?
series? Did he win the series shooting sub 30?
You're right. He won the series, but he didn't overcome
Okay.
shit.
Okay, then. So
Hey,
okay, that's
who
fine.
was the most impactful person in that series, Travis?
Daniel Gibson, Game 7. Let's
All
go.
right. Okay. All right.
You know,
Ralph,
T
go ahead,
perfect.
go,
You know
Ralph.
Jordan's the king of
Hey,
sub
hey,
30.
Ralph, right?
I-
Stats mean nothing.
Oh, wait,
right?
no, stats don't mean nothing because when I told you Scottie Pippen scored 32 points and 13 rebounds in Game 5 of 1991 Finals, you're going to still say Michael Jordan was more impactful.
No, 100%. Let's go.
The whole
Daniel
series,
Gibson
yeah.
averaged 20
The whole
points a game
series,
on better
Jordan
teams.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
Travis.
No, he's not talking about.
Let
He's
Ralph go. Come on. Let's let Ralph go.
Yeah, go ahead, Ralph.
And we're talking about as far as the finals. I mean, I wouldn't say
No,
Jordan.
we're talking about the playoffs.
I mean, the whole
When it
playoffs.
comes
I
to sports
mean,
talk. Come on.
overall, if
sports.
we're talking about the playoffs and the finals all together,
We're talking about the playoffs. The playoffs, the finals is including the playoffs.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking
And
about the playoffs.
I do, as far as competition, Jordan does have the slight edge throughout the whole thing. Now, the finals, yes, that's LeBron. LeBron does have the superior competition.
How are we talking about competition now? How do we get to competition?
Wait,
Well, I heard
let's-
competition.
Let's
Because
get
your
into those
competition-
moments.
Because your
Wait,
Let's
Ralph.
competition
get to those
grows in
moments.
Wait,
moments.
Ralph said that he had a take on the Pippen MVP thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
what
was-
Pippen.
Oh, yeah, that was blasphemous. I don't know how you're gonna argue that Pippen could have got a Finals MVP. I don't understand that.
Gary
Why
Payton
can't-
said
why
he
can't I
should
argue
have.
it?
Gary
That's
Payton
Lamar,
said he
dude.
should.
Oh, let Ralph
That's
cook it.
Yeah,
That's
I agree
di-
with that.
That's directed toward FYF debate sports, sir. Please
Gary
answer
Yeah,
the question.
Gary
that's
Payton
really-
Hold
said
on,
Scottie
Ralph, why
Pippen was
can't I
the most
argue it?
impactful
Because
in
it's
96.
because
You can
would be
argue.
one like you brought the example like with the Andre Iguodala. If you look at what
use
Steph
more than
Curry
Andre
did.
Iguodala.
Hold on. I'm just addressing that one particular thing, and also James Worthy. When you see Magic in them,
Wes Unseld,
they Wes
Magic Johnson,
Unseld,
and Joe Dumars,
yeah, Joe Dumars.
Tony
But if you
Parker.
look at
Tony
if you look
Parker.
at the
I can Kawhi
prior,
Leonard. I can go down the list.
I'm saying if you look at the
Huh?
prior series with all of them,
No.
they
No.
they
Finals
they
MVP
they.
is just Finals MVP.
Oh my gosh,
It's
can I
7
finish?
games. It ain't what you did
I,
prior.
Let Lamont, let Lamont,
no,
let him get
let
it
me
in. Let him get him
finish.
in. Let
Let
him
me
get
go
him in.
next.
What
I
I'm
got a
saying,
player.
How,
I got a player.
Yeah, no, hold on, wait.
what,
Let Ralph
what I'm
finish, and then we're gonna let Lamont respond, and everybody will get a
what
chance,
I'm
please.
saying, what I'm saying with those players, with the anomaly. Now I'm going to say the West Unseld that was you're right about that one. But the other ones, if you look at the series prior to that, they played better in the conference finals. When he got to the finals, the players that got the MVP, they elevated their game to where the best players on those teams did not. They went down, such as like Steph Curry and Magic. They didn't elevate it as high as the players that got the MVP. That's the reason why they got those MVPs.
It's not true. And then it
Yes, it
depends
is
on,
true.
and it also
Steph
depends
Curry,
on,
That's definitely not
well,
true.
yes,
well,
yes,
what do
it
you
is.
define? So what do you define as elevating?
Like,
Points?
all right, I'm gonna give you the example.
Yeah.
In 2016, when you seen Steph Curry in that Western Conference Finals, he was balling. He said, "I'm back, I'm back." He was hooping, and then when he got to the finals, he did not perform as well as he did in the Western Conference Finals. To where when you see Andre Iguodala, he elevated his game in the finals and he showed the impact. That's the reason why he
Hey,
got that
Ralph,
Finals
who had
MVP.
better stats, Steph Curry or Andre Iguodala?
Steph Curry scored more.
Who
He
had
he
better
shot worse.
stats?
That's
Steph
not
Curry
that's not my
had the higher
argument though.
game share.
That
So
that's
what
Steph
we're
that's
Curry had a
saying
not
is,
higher
my
game.
argument.
so hold on. So
That's not my
if you
argument.
just be honest and just say that Steph Curry had the better stat lines, but
Mhm.
Andre Iguodala won the award because of his impact,
Yes, that's
timely
that's what I'm
shots,
saying.
and defense. He didn't have to drop 30, but it was timely shot making and defense that won him the award.
Mhm.
Just like with Joe Dumars, timely shots and defense. Just like with James Worthy, making big shots, right? Just like Magic coming up in
I'm
that big game when Kareem was out. Just like Wes Unseld, he was the third best player on that team, only averaged 9 points a game. But what
mhm.
he did was most impactful. We can go down the list. You don't have to be the highest scoring player, or you have to pack the stat line with stats all across the board to win the
I
Finals MVP. It's about your impact. And when we talk about Scottie Pippen, if you look at his
That's what I
game,
was gonna say.
90% of Scottie Pippen's game is not defined in stats. There was so much that he
but
did,
I'm
like
not
the hockey
arguing that.
assists that ain't counted, like the
I'm not
deflections
arguing
that
that.
weren't counted, like the defense being able to defend one whole side of the floor, like Kobe Bryant noted in his detail videos. He don't get credit for a lot of the things that he did. His ability to guard multiple positions, give Jordan breaks when Jordan was getting in foul trouble, right? So his ability to be versatile like that is what saved the Bulls in that series.
That,
No,
not, my no, my thing is with Scotty.
Okay.
It would be one thing if Scotty elevated his game like how Andre Iguodala and Joe
He
Dumars
did
and
elevate his game.
hold on, but Jordan didn't dip. He did not. He elevated his game as well.
Hold on.
So
All I
that,
said, Ralph, all I said
but
was
that's
Scotty
my
had a
thing.
case.
But
I didn't
no,
say Scotty should have clear cut won it. I said Scotty had an argument. Just because you have an argument don't mean I'm saying he should have beat out Jordan.
I disagree.
Okay,
I
you
mean,
can
you
Because
could
disagree
also
because a lot
argue.
of you guys say
because
Jordan won all these awards
I
because
would
he scored
now
points.
Well, no,
now
but Ralph is
if you
saying.
said
Uh-huh.
if
Go
you
ahead, Ralph.
said that Jordan wouldn't have won those championships without Scotty, I mean, I do agree with that. But to give them the Finals MVP based off of that, no, I don't agree with that because Jordan did not dip
Hold on.
within his production and his
It
impact on the
doesn't. It's
game.
not even about that. It's what I'm saying is
Yes,
okay. First of all, your production. So when we talk about these things like this, your production, the star player's production doesn't have to dip. So you telling me when James Worthy won the Finals MVP, it was because Magic and all those other players production dipped and they just had to give it to Worthy? Are you telling me when Magic
Worthy
won it over Kareem,
Worthy
are you telling
elevated.
me Kareem's production just dipped and they had to give it to Magic?
Well, you talking about 80? No,
So,
I
so
mean, I felt
why is when all of these
not
other
at 80.
players won the Finals MVP, whose production dipped for them to win it?
No. I'm saying that when you see, like James Worthy, when he won his, he elevated so much to where
But
he
whose production
impacted that.
dipped? You said somebody's production dipped with Scotty.
Well, let me rephrase that. They didn't dip, but they didn't elevate as much as what James Worthy did.
Okay. Who? What did Magic do that series then?
I believe he averaged like 21. Didn't he like
Magic was
21
killing
and
the
13,
Lakers.
something like
He
that.
was killing,
Magic
dog.
Johnson had the highest game score, and whoever has the highest game score is usually the Finals MVP. But they gave it to James Worthy.
Did they have
Even
game?
though
No, I'm
Magic
asking.
Johnson
I'm
played
asking
Won it
Ralph.
off of
Why did
one
they
game.
give it to Worthy?
Yeah.
He won it off of one game, the last game of the series.
Okay. Okay. So the thing is, that last game, if you have a lot of impact, if you change the ties of a series, you can win that award. And if you look to 91, are you telling me that Scottie Pippen did not have such an impact where he stood out like a sore thumb as one of the key indicators as to why they won that series?
He indicated, sure, but he was never the best player in any of those
That is
games.
not about the best player.
You don't have to be the best player to
You
get
don't have
Finals
to be the best
MVP.
player to win the
You
award.
do not have to be.
Impactful.
Stop saying that.
Proving his point.
Like, you're proving the point, Travis. That's the point.
You're proving his point. You're proving
He
his
was
point.
never the most impactful player.
Okay.
You can't make that argument. What do you
You
think?
definitely can. You definitely can.
You definitely can. Just like you can make the argument that Rodman was the most impactful player in '96 when they won the championship.
And Travis, I keep telling you this, dude. There's so many nuances in basketball, and Lamont said it multiple times. Where like this. No, but like, because when you watch that series, because everybody watched that series, it's 91 series. When you watch that series, Scottie Pippen defensive impact was the most impactful thing any player did during that series.
Can I ask Travis, who had more impact to help their team winning? Scottie Pippen for the Bulls or Kobe Bryant for the Lakers?
What year?
No, just period.
The three-peat Lakers. Who had more of an impact? Kobe Bryant for the three-peat Lakers or Scottie Pippen for any of the three-peat Bulls?
I'm going to say Kobe Bryant.
You can't argue that. I'm just going to have to give that one to Travis because you can't argue against that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, what's your first of all?
So Pippen here on 20 points per game on 45% shooting and playing great lockdown defense on a crippled James Worthy who's still lighting him up.
And Travis, that's why I keep telling you.
James Worthy looked crippled in that series to you? Is that what you saw?
Listen. The reason I asked that was because they defended Kobe tooth and nails for being a sidekick, but they refused to accept Scottie Pippen's sidekick.
Who's refusing to accept Scottie Pippen?
That's the JDR logic.
That's what y'all are doing.
No.
All Lamont A. Sturdy is saying is that Scottie Pippen impact is large enough to be recognized to be a Finals MVP at least once or twice. That's all they said. You sat here and tried to tell us that Kobe Bryant was the reason why the Lakers were making finals because they were able to beat the Spurs, and we can't tell you.
You just said the reason. No, I never said that. I said he was more impactful than Scottie Pippen. That's completely different.
How is he more impactful than Scottie Pippen?
I disagree with that, Travis. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what they're going to do? Hey, Johnny, you know what's going to happen? They're going to disregard the first ring of the three-peat Lakers because we forget due to Kobe's injury and the fact that Kobe was not a top 5 player at that point in the first championship. He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't like Kobe Bryant. He took the next league next year. So they're going to exacerbate and make those two back-to-back championships in 2001 and 2002 so much greater in comparison to the 3 either combination for Scottie Pippen, which is going to be this whole disingenuous spiral.
No,
I think if you want to go with the first three-peat, Scottie, I would say Scottie was more impactful than Kobe. But that second three-peat, I'll say Kobe.
That's the right answer. But it's not I don't know what the hell they go try to finesse. But that's my bite. I'll be in assumptions.
I'm just trying
That's
to
crazy.
Listen, I'm just trying to figure all this out because again, the point is that Kobe Bryant and Scottie Pippen were sidekicks, which is what y'all consider sidekicks. But for some reason, it's not that way for Kobe Bryant. We can diminish all the greatness Scottie Pippen does as far as helping his team win, but we have to acknowledge Kobe Bryant's impact as a sidekick. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand.
It makes sense, Johnny. It makes sense because the thing that makes Scottie great is not going to be tracked numerically. That's the thing. People keep forgetting the Bulls. People keep forgetting the Bulls was a defensive dynasty. They were
Who
built
else
on defense first.
But who else was averaging 7, 8 rebounds and 6 assists in the 90s, man? Who was doing that?
No.
Who was doing that? Let's be real. Let's be real. Scottie Pippen was doing something that nobody else was doing in the 90s, man. You guys are so used to seeing LeBron James average 7 and 6. Jordan was not averaging throughout the 97 and 6, bro. Stop
I'm
it.
saying you said Jordan, you said Pippen was doing something that Jordan was doing stuff in the 90s nobody was doing either.
No, Jordan was scoring.
Will had done pretty much everything that Jordan
I
did
got
already.
a series. I have a series that I think that you should know about.
What series is that, Ishmael? Let us know, please.
You're a Heat fan. You should know this. Dwayne Wade come back from the 2006 NBA Finals. On Game 2, he shot an abysmal 31%, 6 for 19. And on Game 3, the very next game, they were down 2-0. Shaq scored 5 points in that game. And the next series, Dwayne Wade shot 14 for 26, a lot of free throws, and scored 42 points, 53%. So from that on, Dwayne Wade had carried the Miami Heat in order to win the NBA Finals. So that's an example of a series of coming back. So
performing well, like you said, performing outside of his normal capacity.
But the thing, the Mavericks is still aimed to stop Shaq.
Man, no, come on, nah, man, he averaged 13.
I don't think you said you ain't paying attention. They were still aimed to stop Shaq.
They were.
See, that's the Ishmael. Stats is not going to. Hold on. Well, Ishmael just did, because that's the first time someone did that. Stats is not an indicator of gameplay. It's not an indicator of gameplay.
They played a good zone on Shaq. Well, yeah.
But that's a bad example.
But come on, man.
Wade had a historical.
Exactly.
Wade
and that's
had
a way more. And that's a way better
amazing.
example. That's a way better example than the 2001 series against the San Antonio Spurs. Way better example.
Yeah, they came back 2-0. Dirk Nowitzki was cooking all series. I remember one game he missed 2 free throws in the last few minutes or something like that. I forgot. But I just know that they came back.
You remember, then you forgot. You remember, then you forgot. But it's okay.
That's an example. That's an example. Like we're not saying LeBron is the only one to do it, but there's players who had great playoff series and overcame in the playoffs.
And you see how everybody. Oh, go ahead. You was on to say something?
Go ahead, Craig.
I forgot my thought because I said go ahead.
you remember, then you forgot. Do you remember?
Yeah, because I was thinking here and then.
Did anybody mention the last game in '98?
Yeah.
No, because
that's part of it.
Craig did.
No, I count that. I count that. Craig did mention.
They was losing that game. They were losing that game.
They were losing that game, and the Bulls dealing with injuries. Like, that's adversity.
Everybody's right and nobody's wrong. Like, nobody's trying to discount. See, this is what you're trying to infer. Is like we're saying Pippen's trash. Mike won it all by himself. That's not true. But you're starting to say that because Kobe also had a fantastic player in his team, nothing that he did matters during the first three-peat. Like he wasn't.
I didn't say that either. And that's the first thing I counted.
The difference is
I was saying that the Spurs losing 4-0 to the Lakers, Kobe did not overcome that. That's all I was saying. They swept the Spurs.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. But going into that series, the Spurs were favored.
No, bro. When they went 15-1,
Travis, your whole argument was that they had a better regular season record, and that was why that would be overcoming adversity.
And we keep mentioning Travis. Like, regular season record has nothing to do with your matchups in the playoffs. Regular season record has nothing to do with your matchups in the playoffs. Regular season record has nothing to do with your matchups in the playoffs.
They say this in boxing all the time. Styles make fights, and that's also the case in the NBA.
Thank you.
But you're talking about.
You say Duncan in 03, he came up.
Like, bro, we literally just seen the Mavericks beat the number 1 seed in the West.
Hold up, y'all. We got Reggie Reg in the building. Let's let Reggie Reg get his word in. Shout out to Reggie Reg. Thank you, sir. If we say LeBron is the GOAT for a couple of weeks, will y'all stop? All of this sturdy talking about won't change his second place or third place category. I mean, I don't know why y'all get mad that LeBron James performed well in the playoffs, because that's y'all problem. Y'all love to say he doesn't perform well. We have to hear this all the time.
No one says that.
Y'all
No,
say
he's
his,
a
y'all
two-time
say he
loser.
don't have
No,
He's a
come
two-time
on,
loser.
Craig, you
exactly.
literally just said that LeBron is a loser, bro. Come on now.
No, I
This
said
type of
the
question,
criteria
this,
fit for losers. You got
right,
to be
right.
down early in the series, so you're
This type of
losing
question
early.
sets
That's
up
what I said.
slander.
So
You know,
Jordan
it's
never
like,
lost early in the series. Was he
So-
able
What you?
to?
What are you saying, Craig? He lost
I would just.
early.
That's
What
what
you mean?
I want to. I
this
want to
sets
know.
up
Look,
slander.
you got to
Did
be
Jordan
down
win?
in the series.
Right.
How
Okay.
do you be down in the series? You got to lose.
How
the
many
first
series?
game, right?
How
You
many
gotta lose
series
both.
was Jordan down in, and he overcame them?
What happened?
How
No,
many
that
series
criteria was
that
they're
Jordan
gonna be
was down in,
the series.
and he overcame that
No.
series?
Y'all said the
This sets up
criteria
slander,
is I
man.
got to be
I'm just
down in the
saying.
series.
No, I just want to make sure
That
because
means you have to lose early in the series to be down. So therefore, you're a loser early in the series.
yeah, but that
But let's not
happens.
pretend
Yeah,
like
you see
Jordan
what I'm
hasn't been
saying?
down in a
Let's
lot of
not
series.
act like Jordan. Jordan does
But
not have
I'm
15
not
titles.
saying that.
He
Y'all
just does not.
saying this. Y'all
Okay,
say this is
so
y'all
Craig,
criteria.
talk about 84 to 90, all the times they were down, and all the times he never was able to overcome.
Well, he never overcome because he didn't win a championship. So
Well,
by
he
that
was-
logic, you don't overcome. You go to the first championship.
No,
Right.
hold on. See, Craig. See, the problem with that logic, though,
By
Craig,
that
is that
logic.
no, but Craig, see, the problem with that logic is because y'all only like to talk about the 6-0 years. There
I
were
don't
so many.
wanna
There
talk
were
about
so many
6-0
moments from
years.
84 to 90 where Jordan
Because when we
overcame.
talk about the 84
No, Craig.
90,
Listen,
is he
Craig. I'm trying to
lost.
help you out. There
He
were so
lost in
many
84
moments
and
from
90. You don't
84
need
to
to help
90
me
where
out. I
Jordan
don't need your
overcame.
help.
And
I don't
because y'all
need
don't know
your
how to
help.
talk about Jordan's career, y'all don't talk about 84
No,
to
we
90
talk
because you want
about
to run
when
away
we
from the
talk about
playoff loss.
84
We
and
do it all the
90, and the
time.
first thing y'all say is he didn't
I
win.
just want to know why Jordan can't be called a loser when he was down series.
He
never
was
overcame.
a loser. He was a loser for 6 seasons, 7 seasons. Wait, 9
See,
seasons. He was a loser
You're
for
acting
9
like we've
seasons.
never
Yeah,
even
nine
said
seasons,
that.
9 seasons, 9 seasons.
That's still less than your
This
guy.
type of stuff sets up for slander because then you start talking about, okay, which stats impact winning? The point when it's like, if LeBron's playing good, is it going to impact him to be able to win? Or
I mean,
is
he
it
averaged
when he's
25,
when he's
7, and 7
overcoming
for 4
adversity,
years. He
is it
got
going
4
to impact for them
championships.
to
So
win?
No,
That's
I
what
do.
I'm
I do
saying.
agree. I do agree with Craig from this standpoint. Like, and I said this earlier. I think it is too restrictive to just limit to just being down in series to overcome adversity. Even if you're up in the series, you still can face adversity
Right,
during that series.
that's what I was saying. The
Exactly.
criteria for it.
Sturdy.
It's
It
like,
don't matter
that's
how
why I
you
said
slice
LeBron
it.
is a
Give us-
loser.
Still gonna
because
be
you
Give
can't
us,
LeBron.
okay, Ishmael, give us an
No, it's still going.
example.
It's still going to
Someone
be. It's still going to be
gave
LeBron.
up
It's still
It's
going
a
to be LeBron.
setup question.
Wait,
No
I
matter
can't hear
how
you.
you
No,
slice it.
Ishmael, give us a series that someone was up and had to overcome adversity.
Of course, you can't do that. I'm just
I
talking about.
can't. No, Ishmael can't. I can.
Underdogs. I mean, like,
Who?
unless they
Who,
were playing
Sturdy?
terrible
Who?
and they were
Okay,
winning.
I'm gonna give you this year. I'm gonna give you this year. Despite the Nuggets beating the Lakers in 5 games, they were down double digits in every single game.
They
That's
weren't
overcoming
up that
adversity.
series.
No,
That's not
what you
adversity.
mean?
They
Double
held
digits.
up.
They didn't have to overcome no adversity.
Denver was up.
They were down by
Hold on.
20 and came
Denver
back
was
to win
up
that
3-0.
game.
Lamont, what you talking about? Denver was up 3-0
That's
at
a
one
good
point.
point. I see his
And,
point.
and every single
but
game, they were down
Sturdy.
double digits.
But Sturdy,
That's overcoming
that-
adversity.
And by the end of the
Yeah,
game,
in one of those games at
That's a
halftime,
team
the
overcoming.
Lakers was
How
up
does
by 20.
what individual player overcame?
Hold on, I'm just gonna add this in there real quick
I'll
because
say Jamal. I'll say Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray.
going into the
You know what?
Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray.
New World. Say
To answer your
New
question,
World.
Lamont, Jamal Murray. Jamal
Who
Murray.
got New World?
Go
Who
ahead,
got
New
New
World.
World?
I just wanted to add in, like, you can't really count that because prior to that series, the Nuggets had beaten the Lakers 8 times in a row. Like that, them being down, nobody expected the Lakers to win, even when they were up by 20 points. People were still talking about how the Lakers were going to blow that lead because all throughout this season, all throughout the regular season, the Lakers have done this. They've been having these leads and they're not able to close, not just against Denver. They went through that 3-10 stretch after the bubble, or not after the bubble, excuse me, after the in-season tournament. And after they did that shit, you can kind of see where the Lakers were struggling at, like scoring in the third and fourth quarter. Everybody knew that Denver is a third, fourth quarter team, and they're going to turn it on. So I don't think anybody outside of delusional Laker fans, myself included, thought that the Lakers were going to win more than one game in the series.
Expectations. Hold on. Expectations do not dictate your adversity. And regular season did not. I keep saying
Yes, it does. Yes, it
No,
does.
it don't. Expectations do not dictate your adversity. No, it don't.
Sturdy.
Well,
Sturdy.
I
You
wanna
know
say
more
this.
than anybody here, and we all know, for those who watch today's NBA, 15 points, 20-point lead is not guaranteed today's NBA. We all know that.
It
We
is
all
that-
know
that-
No,
that.
it don't matter, hey John. You
We
still
all
got
know
you still in
that.
a hole. You still got to overcome it.
Yeah,
No,
you
That's
can't
a
make
fact.
excuses now.
Wait, I'm gonna let Ralph go because Ralph has something to say. But Lamont supposedly has somebody for us because he mentioned the person in the beginning of the conversation and start of the
Yeah,
show. So
my
let's let
bad.
Ralph go because Lamont has somebody for us that has overcome a lot during the playoffs. Go ahead, Ralph.
Well, I'm gonna say Denver win this game. You could definitely say that because they were down 0-2 going to
Joker,
Going back to Denver, yeah, they lost, or going to
yeah.
Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota.
Especially if Joker has another one of those games like he did in game, what was it, game 4, I believe? He went up for like 40, 10, and 7, something like that.
No, that's game 5. That's game 5.
It was game
So
5.
is it Joker? So
Yeah.
is it Joker who overcame it or Murray who overcame it?
No, you can say both because that's what. No, John. It's not restricted to one person. And I keep saying that it's not restricted to one person.
We're talking about
LeBron never did that either, John.
One person.
Okay.
Lamont,
Murray
you had
asked
some. Lamont, you mentioned somebody earlier in the comments before you came on and got up to the link. Who is the guy that you would say has more overcome than LeBron from the
No,
conversations?
I said he has an argument, but
Uh-huh.
you
Tell
have
us.
to consider the off the court stuff. That's Bill Russell.
Okay.
I mean, because to play basketball at a high level through
His
what he
whole
had to
career
go
is
through,
adversity.
but then
Remember, he's racing
B.
back
Lee
then.
B. Lee basically said, let's just keep it on the court. If you just keep it on the court, then like I said, this is a setup question. It's built for LeBron to be the answer because I don't care what the criteria is. I know Craig's been wanting the criteria. Don't matter how you slice this criteria. Nobody's been overcome more adversity than LeBron James. This is just something you just got to accept, whether you got Jordan as the GOAT or not. It's just the facts. Jordan didn't overcome more. Kareem, Magic, none of these guys overcame more than LeBron, and he has 20 years of this to prove it. It's just a setup question. It's really just to test how honest some of y'all Jordan fans are gonna be. And the fact that y'all fighting against just pure logic, it does. Like I said, this does not mean Jordan's not the GOAT. This is just the argument that's built for LeBron to win. I don't care how you slice the criteria. And you pushing against pure basketball logic when you try to.
No, we're not. We admitted it.
Wait, Lamont, are you saying
That's
Wait, are you
my
saying
play,
Brandon and I are not fair to Michael Jordan fans? We don't
Hell
know
yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm saying it, Johnny. I've been on this show for 2 years. Yeah, you're damn right.
I knew when he.
I do want to push back slightly. I do want to push back slightly against what Lamont said, though.
Because it's really just meant to test if you're gonna be honest. That's all.
We
it
are
is.
honest. Lamont, we said that LeBron.
Is your answer to this question LeBron James?
We said it.
I said 2012 when he had a Finals MVP as a teammate.
If you had to say one player that's number one for this conversation, who's overcome the most?
We already said it was LeBron James.
Okay, all right.
No, it's between.
I do think. Johnny, they passed the test.
No, Lamont, the argument started with Scottie Pippen. That's the whole reason why we even got to this situation is because we were trying to figure out if Kobe was. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's because we brought up Pippen as he was also the number 2 to Michael Jordan, while Kobe was the number 2 to Shaquille O'Neal. Do we count their moments of overcoming when they have arguably the best player in the league at the time on their team? Like, do we count that? That's where all this even came from. I don't think anybody was trying to discredit that LeBron is like, the king of the playoffs.
Scottie Pippen's biggest fault was that he chose to be a great defender and not a great scorer.
Well, that's not really his fault. Like, he's in the triangle. Like, nobody. That's what a lot of Jordan fans and Kobe fans don't understand. Like, when you're running that triangle system, there's nobody that's going to score more points than Kobe and Michael Jordan. So trying to knock their teammates for not scoring as much or not averaging 20 points again, that's such a dumb argument, especially when you compare Scottie Pippen and Kobe Bryant as a number 2. Scottie Pippen was more of a defensive juggernaut, and Kobe was that dude that you would go to get those extra shots when Shaquille O'Neal is getting double teamed by that zone. So
Pippen played 17 seasons in the NBA and 10 with Jordan. He had 7 seasons without Jordan. Please don't give me that. It's
if you truly hold on, Craig. But his 7 seasons without Jordan came at the end of his career when he was dealing with horrendous back injuries.
Except for 1.5.
94 was the end of his career.
So
see, I always do that. He had time to prove that he could do this scoring without Jordan. He scored
hold on. First of all, Craig,
Is
He
it
didn't
just
have
about
to prove.
scoring?
So first of all, only thing he did when he went to Houston was still be the same great type. He don't have to change his game just
That's
to say,
Jordan's fault.
no, hold on. First of all, you see what y'all want Scottie Pippen to do is to go somewhere and score a whole bunch of points so he can say, oh, yeah, look, I can score. Scottie Pippen's game wasn't built in scoring. His greatness wasn't built in scoring. His greatness was built in being a team player and a great defender and a guy that brings everything together.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Lamar. I've heard to where the only reason why Scotty couldn't score is because
My
Jordan
bad,
was shooting
guys.
a lot of shots.
No,
But it's what New World said though. Y'all, this is what Jordan, dog. Scottie Pippen.
No, I'm just
Scottie
saying
Pippen.
that's the reason why
No,
Craig is responding the way he is.
no. That's a horrible response because in the triangle offense, I'm about to say it. I'm about to say it right now because in the triangle offense, he didn't need to score 30 or some odd points for them to. I'm about to explain it. No. I'm about to transition. No, I'm about to transition.
To do with the triangle.
No, because the most no, it's more than that. Because people forget Scottie Pippen led that team in all 5 statistical categories that year. That's the reason why they were successful. So what Lamar's alluding to is y'all keep trying to do this thing of restrict Scottie Pippen by a certain skill. Was that not what made him great regardless? What brought Scottie Pippen, what made Scottie Pippen Hall of Fame, what made Scottie Pippen a legend was his versatility in defense.
The answer is very simple. Scottie Pippen, if you look at the volume, if you look at, hold on, listen to what I'm saying, Craig, because this might be above your pay grade, what I'm about to tell you. Scottie Pippen's volume of scoring in that particular era with the illegal defense, right? Why did Rod Thorne say that they got rid of the illegal defense? Because he said teams were abusing it. Teams like the Utah Jazz and San Antonio Spurs and Chicago Bulls, what they were doing was they would just ISO their best player on one side of the floor, slow the game down to a bore, and one player would get all the glory while everybody else really kind of just stood around and got the leftovers. Scottie Pippen's scoring was significantly decreased based on the style of play with illegal defense. What we saw with Kobe, hold on, Craig. What we saw with listen, hold on, Craig. What we saw with Kobe Bryant. Okay, hold on, Craig. So what we saw with Kobe Bryant in the 2000s when they got rid of illegal defense was we saw Phil Jackson and that assistant coach of his really get into their bag with the triangle because now they wasn't handcuffed with the illegal defense. They can get more creative. Teams were going in the zones. They could attack differently, even though they were trying to double on Shaq, right? With the zones, they could do different things. So it opened the door up because there's no illegal defense. They don't have to play one style. I believe that if Pippen had his prime in the 2000s, we would have saw Scottie Pippen that could have averaged 25 points per game.
But that's the problem is this y'all. Yeah. You guys act like Scottie Pippen averaging 19 points per game during the 90s is bad. It's not. Nope. It's actually
because of pace. Because of pace of play.
No, you guys are the one. Wait, you guys are the one who always mention
y'all say Jordan is a ball hog. That's why Scottie couldn't score.
Who said Jordan was a ball hog? Who said that? Craig, who said that here?
Everybody says it here.
Nobody says
go look on their group.
I say that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when Jordan is taking 25 shots per when Jordan is taking 25 shots per game, I'm gonna explain. When Jordan is the only player taking 25 shots per game, how many shots do you think Scottie Pippen will get?
The same in '94.
No, false.
Wait, Craig, come on.
He did.
No, he didn't. He averaged 2.5 more shots per game in '94 than he did outside of those years.
And what did he average? What is
22 points per game, which is 3 more points.
And he averaged. No. He averaged 21.
He took 2 to 3 more shots, and he only scored. He averaged one more basket. It doesn't matter. He's averaging 22 in the era when the best players are averaging 22 points per game. You act like there's a bunch of guys.
The best player was averaging 30.
There is not. Again, the best player was taking 25 shots per game. Scottie Pippen takes 25 shots per game. He's averaging 30.
45% shooting.
If Patrick Ewing takes 25 shots per game, he's averaging 30. If Reggie Miller's taking 25 shots per game, he's averaging 30. Jordan's not doing nothing special but shooting the ball more.
They did it.
No,
Because they are not ball hogs. They don't have They don't have 20 grand on tonight's. They don't have. They do not have 20 grand on tonight's game because I'm going to score 40 points. That's what they didn't have. They didn't have a gambling addiction, and they were betting that I was going to score 40 tonight. But that's the facts.
No,
here we go.
No, but no, it's simply this. Jordan fans, Jordan fans do this a lot.
Disrespect everybody but Michael Jordan. But once I say some real shit about Michael, it's hey, Johnny's tripping. The nigga didn't gamble and say he was gonna score 40 points and win by 20.
And they won.
Did he do that? Did he do it? Did he do it?
Yeah. And they won.
Okay then. So Michael Jordan wasn't scoring 40 points because he was better than Reggie Miller. He was scoring 40 points because he wanted 20 grand in his fucking pocket.
Can't Pippen do that?
Well, Craig.
Pippen doesn't have a gambling addiction. He has a championship addiction.
But Craig, what you're doing once again, it's a common thing what Jordan fans do. They try to be like, no, I'm literally about to. No, but hold on. That's.
Jordan was taking all the shots. Jordan.
No, Craig. It's this simple. Because he's not like Jordan, he's not going to impact the game like Jordan. Period. So what I'm trying to allude to you. What made Scotty great, with or without Jordan, was his versatility, was the fact that he was a willing passer, a great playmaker. So I'm not going to hold on, Craig. I just want to land it right here. I'm not going to discredit, because it adds substance to the argument because of this. I'm not going to discredit Scottie Pippen because hold on. Him recognizing his teammates like Horace Grant, like B.J. Armstrong got better with the additions of Tony Kukoc. I'm less likely, because there's more offensive scoring options, I'm less likely to put up those attempts because that's not my game. So to answer your question, Craig, he's not going to average 30 because that's not his game.
So what is the point? So what is the point of complaining about Jordan being the shooter?
Because Jordan's 30 points per game is not why they win. That's why. Jordan's 30 points per game is not why the Chicago Bulls wins. That's the fact.
That is true. And I keep telling y'all this. The Bulls was a defensive dynasty. It was built on defense first, dog.
I don't care what you tell me. If you take away 5 shots per game, listen, if you take away 5 shots per game from Michael Jordan's career and he's only taking 20 shots per game, the Chicago Bulls still win championships because they can score with other players. They had players who were more than efficient than him.
25 shots away in '94. What did that do for them? Please show me when they took 25 shots away.
It took them further than Jordan. It took them further than Michael Jordan's 37 points per game in '87. That's what it did. That's what it did. That's what it did. Jordan had Scottie Pippen in '89.
Craig, I have a question. Craig. Why do Pippen have to win without Jordan, but Jordan don't have to win without Pippen?
Because y'all said Pippen is the main reason why. I said Jordan. I just said Jordan.
I don't agree with that. Craig, you said, Craig, gang, man, you fell for that, man. You shouldn't even answer that.
Why?
I want to question it, Johnny. What time? Like every single
has
week.
Nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm saying Pippen. Y'all saying Jordan is the reason why Pippen couldn't average 25. I'm saying he had a season in his prime without Jordan, and he couldn't average 25.
No, we're telling you, Scottie Pippen. We're telling you, Scottie Pippen's impact has nothing to do with averaging 25 points or not. He don't have to average 25 points or not. That's the whole point. You don't have to average 25 to be impactful in the 90s.
Well, we know that they needed Jordan's 30 to win the championship.
Why do Scottie Pippen have to win without?
And that's not true either. That's not true.
So
I never said my whole stance is not him about winning. I said
you keep saying he didn't take him farther in '94. You keep saying he didn't take him farther in '94. So why
they were literally a bad call away from winning? So I mean, I don't understand why you saying
that was only in Game 5. They still had a chance to win.
It don't matter. They still could have won. Like that's the fact.
They could have.
They still had other games to go forward, though. I mean, it wasn't, that's not the end of the deal. They could have still won. Like, even if they won that game, we wouldn't have known if they would have still lost.
Because he had a championship team in '94.
Why? No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
No, they did not.
No, they
Why
didn't.
you say that?
Because From my understanding, the Bulls are a championship team because of 30 points per game. They didn't have 30 points per game in '94, so they were
It's
not a
part of it.
championship team.
From your
It's
understanding,
part of it. I won't say it's the end all be all, but it is a part of it.
No, this is the problem. Us LeBron fans, we say LeBron wins when he has teams. We never say otherwise. When he was 1-on-5, he didn't win a championship. But when he had a team, he was able to win a championship. And that's the same thing with Michael Jordan. Jordan wins when he has a team.
Well, the difference is when Jordan
The
had a
literally
team and
question
LeBron had a
is what
team,
LeBron
one
did
didn't
to
lose and
overcome.
one did.
Jordan lost with a team as well.
Nah, we
Jordan
gonna have
lost
to
with a
cut
team
that.
as well.
Is that an answer?
95.
Can we,
95.
can someone answer that
89,
question?
90.
Can we answer that
90
question? Why
was
did
a
Pippen have to win without Jordan? I
Because
just
y'all
don't
said-
understand this narrative.
Yeah.
Because Pippen had his championship team when Jordan
I say
retired.
90.
Y'all said
No, he
Pippen. Y'all
didn't.
said Jordan 30 points
Who
per
said
game
that?
didn't matter. That's
Who
why.
said that?
The Bulls could have won a
If
title in
Jordan didn't
'94,
matter, then Pippen should have
but
won without him.
still.
If Jordan
still.
didn't matter, he should have won without him. That's all I'm
Brandon, quick question.
So if Pippen didn't matter, he should have won without Pippen too, as well.
saying. I never said Pippen didn't matter. I'm going by what you're saying about Jordan being the reason
No,
why.
but you keep saying that Scottie Pippen should have won, and he should have won a title in '94.
That has nothing to
Are
do
you
with
gonna keep
Pippen
repeating
scoring more
yourself? I
points. Like him
literally
winning
said-
has nothing to do with that shit. Like, why are you going around in circles with Craig? Like, it makes no sense. If the
It
man
makes
was going to
sense.
average 25 points per game, he would have did it. But it's not that he couldn't do it. It's because he's in a system run by Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is the one that decides how many
is not
shots
that
he
type of
gets.
player to average 25 points a game.
Pippen doesn't have
Yeah,
the
that's
talent
not
to
his
do
game.
it.
Magic Johnson's not that type of player.
They're
That's
not
like me
volume
asking.
dudes.
That's like
Magic's
me
not that type of player.
asking Kyrie Irving to average 9
So he's
rebounds.
not that type of player. So we
No,
can't-
but most
We can
importantly,
say
I don't know
that
why
Kyrie
what I
can't
said. Hold on.
average 9
But why would I
rebounds,
say
but he doesn't.
why the key point of this get dismissed? They got better offensive pieces. They literally added Tony Kukoc. They added Steve Kerr. BJ and Horford got better.
That's
He
what I
didn't
was
need
saying.
to.
Yeah,
They
No,
got
I'm
the
saying like he didn't need to.
He's involved.
It was a more balanced team.
I think
BJ
they were just
Horford
as
was
good in
all-star
'93
too.
as '94, though.
And you
I'm not
want to
gonna
be
lie.
an all-star, you want to be an NBA
They
champion.
were just as good.
No. They don't. But the point is, they got better. They did get better. We do watch them. They were scoring better. They were playing better defense. They were just better players.
Yeah, not everybody who wins a title averaged over 25 points
The
a
reason
game.
why they had like 2 or 3 players join the All
Now, the
Star
production didn't
that
change
year
too
was
much.
because Jordan wasn't there taking all the shots. So you got to
There
see
we
the
go.
skill sets of these other players that were just hanging out in the wing. Like
That's the
Lamont was telling
facts.
you
You
earlier.
take away 25
Lamont was
shots per
telling
game,
you
somebody got to shoot
they're-
that.
Exactly. Lamont was telling you that they had
But
everybody
I'm
else
saying that
isolated
shit
on the
was
wing
25
while their
points.
best
That shit
player
wasn't Pippen the
ISOs
way
all
I
game.
tell it.
Oh my
The way I
God,
tell it, the
bro.
20.
I
that
still
shit
all
was
game.
Pippen.
I mean, not all game, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if this man's taking half
he
of
got
the
more players
shots,
involved.
exactly, they're
Yeah.
gonna make more opportunities to get the All-Star selections because people can actually see, oh yeah, these guys can
Hey,
actually
you wanna be
score.
an
Oh, these
all-star or
guys can
NBA
actually do
champion?
something. Well,
Jordan
that's
made-
part of
Scottie
their
Pippen.
career, bro.
Pippen made them
You get paid
all-star.
more money by making All-Star selections. Like, there's
The projection
Okay,
so
Oh,
much
Craig.
because
difference
Okay, hold on.
for your career.
Craig, you saying that Scottie Pippen not scoring more is the reason he wasn't a champion? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm
Yes.
saying Jordan.
Yes.
I said Jordan made Horace Grant a champion. Pippen made him an all-star. That's what I'm saying.
No, because Pippen was
Oh,
on that
Scottie Pippen
team.
was on that team. Scottie Pippen was on that team,
Scottie
I'm
Jordan wasn't
lost.
on the '94 team when he made the all-star.
but he was on the team in '91, '92, and '93.
Did he
Pippen
make the
was.
all-star? Did he make the all-star?
He couldn't shoot any shots during that time period, man. Come on now.
He was a champion.
Nobody knew
That's
how
why
good he was because he's on the
He was a
team.
champion.
All he's
He
doing
didn't
is playing
shoot.
No, but
defense.
Craig,
I don't
but
think
Craig, you're being disingenuous by separating. Why are you separating? No. Hey, Johnny's trolling you. You're taking it personal.
I'm not taking
Stop.
it.
You're separating. For some reason, you're separating the team
I'm not
success.
trolling.
You're separating.
He
Separating.
said he's
Honest.
not. Hold on,
You're
Sturdy. He just said
separating.
he's not trolling. He just
No,
said he's
but
not trolling. Sturdy.
Ralph, come on.
I am
you
not
know.
trolling.
Hey, Johnny.
I am
Johnny.
not
No. Sturdy, listen. I gotta understand, Sturdy, listen. He's not trolling because we've said this for 2 years. I've been on the show. I know he's not.
I will defend myself.
Go ahead. Do you
Again,
say?
Michael Jordan fans think because Jordan's taking 25 shots per game, somehow the other players are going to be able to shoot the ball and score. When the proof is in the pudding,
22.
as soon as you take Jordan's 25 shots per game out, all those guys get better at scoring because they get more shots.
In the '90s, he took 22.
No,
Jordan-
when are we going to be like right above this? We've already proven and told you that that's not what Craig and I feel about. Can we actually talk fucking basketball, not these narratives that we already said we disagree with? You're mentioning these casuals who say he only won because he was 13-37 and they needed Jordan to score 40. We know that's not the case. We know he could have dipped down the fucking 20 or 19 shots a game because they were superior
1993,
defensively.
Michael Jordan shot 26 shots per game. In
What's your point?
1993,
What?
my point is, you can't shoot if I'm not the one shooting. I
Who's
can't score
disagreeing
if I'm not
with
the
you?
one shooting.
You're in
Again,
an echo chamber.
Wait.
No one's disagreeing with you.
The fact that you guys keep mentioning Scottie
You guys-
Pippen's
Y'all
averages.
literally just said Pippen is not a scorer. But
Pippen-
you said Pippen
the
could
90s
score
were like
because
the
of
third-
all
the 90s were like
I just told you.
basketball.
I just told you 19. Wait.
Could he
I
play
just told you.
score?
Wait.
Or is it
I
because
just
of
told
all
you.
You got-
19 points per game in the 90s is a scorer.
It is good. Yes. You
Is it
just
because
want
Jordan
us
was
to be
taking
mad so
25
you
shots
can
or
like.
he can't score on the
Nah,
road?
you
Okay,
guys were trying to
wait.
downplay Pippen
Is
scoring 19
Latrell
points per
Sprewell a
game,
scorer?
though.
Wait,
We're not
is
downplaying
Latrell
it.
Sprewell a scorer?
He's a shooter.
Yes.
That's his
That motherfucker averaged 19 points per game in the 90s. Should I continue? Should I fucking continue?
Continue.
Should I fucking continue?
Did
with what?
Sprewell have Jordan on his team?
Because guess what? Sprewell's only taking 15 shots per game. That's what you do when you take 15 shots per game. You average around 20 points per game.
Yeah, when the era is the slowest.
Just like Michael Jordan. You give Michael Jordan 15 shots per game, he's averaging 20 points.
And they're losing. And they're losing because no one else on his team could score the way you do.
Lies.
No, that's
Lies.
just volume scoring, man.
Wait,
Anybody
wait a
can be a
minute.
volume scorer
Wait,
in the
is
NBA.
the
No, volume
argument
scorer
that
is a
because-
person that shoot a lot of attempts.
No, the problem
That's
is
what
that Michael
Jordan
Jordan
is.
fans
Jordan
think
is a
that his
volume
scoring
scorer.
is why he
he's a
He
wins.
is a volume
Like, no.
scorer.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
matter.
Okay,
He
I
still
thought
takes
you
a lot of
said-
shots.
No,
Okay,
volume
so
score is
still
like
a
I'm
average.
trying to
That's
say-
not
No,
a
it
volume
doesn't. No,
scorer.
a volume scorer
Yeah.
is somebody who takes a lot of shots. It doesn't matter if you're efficient or not. You're still taking
Wow.
more than 20 shots
Wow,
per
you
game.
really gonna say
That's a
Jordan's not a
volume
volume
scorer.
scorer,
Basketball
bro?
terms.
That is no
He's not a
in
volume
basketball
scorer, bro.
terminology. That is
I
volume
think-
scoring, bro.
Again,
You're
it doesn't
shooting
matter.
20 shots plus
Any
per game.
NBA player
All right, so let me
taking
ask you
23 shots
Who's the
per
better
game
three-point
will
shooter?
average
Curry or
30
Steph?
points
Who's the better
per
three-point shooter?
game.
That's false.
It's just that
Who's
simple.
the better three-point shooter? Steph
No, they
Curry or
wouldn't.
Steve Kerr?
Again, any
Who?
player taking
Who?
23 shots
Who?
per game is
Who?
going to average
Who?
30 points
Who?
per game.
Okay, correct.
Johnny,
Craig,
hey Johnny,
how
hey
many-
Johnny. I just
Craig,
want to
Craig,
clarify this,
Craig.
Johnny. I was saying you was trolling
Craig,
when
let
you
me-
mentioned it.
Yeah, but the thing
That's all.
is his 30
all right, hold on,
very
guys.
impactful
Let
to
me
other
just
players.
ask Craig this question. Let me just ask Craig this question real quick.
Question.
If
Nobody
Michael
answered
Jordan
the
averaged 20
question.
shots a game, do you
I
think the
gotta
Bulls
want
would have still
everybody
won
to-
6 titles?
No.
I'm just saying, like, if my
No, he
are
don't
you
think
saying
that.
that Jordan needed to shoot over 20, or if he averaged 20, would they still have
Well,
won 6
from
titles?
what I'm saying, from what I'm hearing, Scottie Pippen is not a scorer. So if he don't have anyone that can score 30 on his team, what you want him to do?
So you're saying that Jordan needed to shoot over 20 and average 30 points per game, basically?
Yes, that's what they believe.
Okay. All right.
That's
That's
what
all I
they
want to
believe.
know. That's all I want to know. Because in '96 that didn't happen, and they beat the Sonics and won the title. But we
Did
do
he
have
take the
Paul
most shots on the
Gold
team?
in here.
Did he take the most
So-
shots on the team? Did Jordan take the most
So
shots on the
let's
team?
go here and
He
say.
also
Did Jordan
missed
He's
take
because
the
just
they
most
there
were
shots on the
shooting
team? Yes or
abysmal
no?
in '96.
Oh my
The
fucking
reason
god,
why they
dude.
won is probably it.
This is
because
the
of
dumbest
Rodman
fucking
getting all the
conversation.
rebounds.
It is.
All right.
Because
Let's just
that
move
could
on.
be-
No,
Let's
it's
just
not.
move
And you
on.
guys are
Let's just move
perpetuating
on.
it by being
Let's
retards.
just move
No,
on.
it's not. No, it's not.
Let's just move on because
This is.
Let's just move on.
This is
Let's
stuff
move
we've
on.
rehashed 35 fucking times. And we
Okay,
we
let's
agree.
move on,
Pippen
guys.
was a great
Let's move
scorer
on.
with a pace with a shots per game with more than 90 possessions per
I
game.
just
He
want
was a
them
great
to be
scorer.
consistent.
No one's defended it.
Is
The
it
Bulls
because
won.
Jordan was on
Correct.
there
The
taking
Bulls won
45
because they were
shots?
great
Or
defensively.
that's
Jordan
not
could have
Pippen's
averaged.
game?
Okay,
Jordan
okay,
shot
you
it
guys
20 times
think
a
Jordan
game.
needed to score so much. Okay, that's
You're
fine.
talking about
Like,
these outliers who say that Jordan needed to average 50 for them to win. No one's disagreeing with that. No one's disagreeing with any of these takes. You just want us to so you can scream at something. Like, let's talk about actual
I just want
basketball.
them to be
Let's talk about two
consistent.
game 7s going on tonight.
I don't know. No, I'm
One
looking
minute,
up.
one
I'm looking
minute,
up stats
Jordan
here.
thought that he couldn't average 25 because he was taking 25 shots. Then the next minute it's because of the system. That's not his game. Which one is it? Y'all
Jordan
can't
was
say one thing.
Jordan was going to take
it-
It can be
23
both.
shots per
Craig,
game.
it can be
Well,
both.
just say that. Don't
It can-
say
it can be
that.
both.
Say both. Don't say one and stand on one.
No,
Say
no,
both.
no, because when Phil Jackson told Jordan stop stopped shooting, Jordan didn't stop.
They Speak to Jordan about that. What did the results?
We
of them-
did. And what did Jordan say?
and
What did Jordan
happened?
say?
And
What
what
did
was
Jordan
the
say?
repercussions of him not shooting?
He said he said I did all this by myself, and I was the reason why my team won. I pushed them. I told them.
I heard him say if he didn't have Scottie Pippen, he wouldn't be a 6-time champion. I heard him say that.
So that means the 30 points per game is not why. Scottie Pippen's 19, correct?
It's both the 30 and the 19. That's only 69 points.
I don't
the
know about
Bulls
that.
scored 80 points per game.
I'm looking at NBA players who shot over 25 shots per game. Every last one of them averaged over 30 points per game besides players who played in the 50s and the 60s.
Well, tell Pippen that you should have shot 25 points.
For what?
All right. Come on, guys. Let's just move on from this stupid argument. All right, Paul, go. Do you have anything to chime in on before we move on?
Yo, Killer, you was up here. You ain't say nothing. You don't wait to get on the screen and say some foul shit like that.
What'd he say?
I don't like that sucking dick shit.
What happened? What the hell?
He's up there all quiet. He gonna come in the...
Yeah, he said he talking sexual stuff. Y'all got to stop that sexual connotation nonsense. Okay, I see what he said. Yeah, we're not cool with that, DJ. Y'all already know that's not the stuff that you say to another grown man. Let's let Paul Goat come in because I got folks upset like usual. That's what I do best. So let's go ahead, Paul. What you got to say in this conversation, brother?
Well, I mean, I want to say in the first 3 years of Michael Jordan's career, okay, he has a teammate, okay, that I believe nobody knows, okay, but people have forgot this, but he has a teammate in his first 3 years. And in a playoff series, he averaged 20 points per game. And he was Orlando Woodridge, I believe he was.
Yes. Yeah, you're correct. Orlando Woodridge was a 20-point per game scorer. Jordan had double-digit rebounders, so Jordan did have help in the 80s as well, yes.
Yes, yeah, he had it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the topic? We were talking about playoff struggles and overcoming them. Do you have anything for any players?
I mean, overcoming.
Yeah, we were talking about overcoming playoffs. Yeah.
I mean, I will say Will Chamberlain in 1968, I believe it was, or 1967, you know, when the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Celtics. I mean, I believe that was a great overcome. I also believe the San Luis Hawks, when they had Buff Pettit and they beat the Boston Celtics in the finals, that was a great overcome because the Boston Celtics won 11 championships in 13 years. So that two teams beat them, that is actually an amazing accomplishment.
That was actually a good one. The 60s, I think you're talking about the 67 Wilt Chamberlain team who had I think he averaged a triple double against
the
Boston
averaged
Celtics that series.
He averaged like 20 and 20 and 10, something like that.
I think you're correct. Yes, and that was actually a good one. That's actually a good one. We were hoping somebody could bring up something from the 60s. That was actually a good one. Thank you for that one. And you said the Bob Pettit Hawks in 58.
Yeah, 58. Yeah.
We barely recognize the 50s over here. But that's still a good one because they did have to overcome a great Celtics team. Although
they wasn't great at that time.
Yeah, but
Bill Russell
was hurt.
Overcoming that series. That was going to be my question.
Bill Russell got hurt that series, so that's hard.
Yeah, the Hawks series, the Hawks got him. They won 8 straight.
He was. He did have a great series. He did actually have a great series. You are correct about that. So
Bob Pettit still was frying his ass when he played.
See, look. Remember, they brought up Boobie Gibson. They brought up LeBron James fan. As soon as somebody brought up Orlando Woodridge, in the comments, Orlando was suspended for drug use. Yeah, because Jordan snitched on him.
That's the troll.
Nah, he was a 20-point scorer.
Yeah, that's the troll to me.
Really...
When I talk basketball, I don't troll. I expose. That's what I do best.
Hell no.
That's what I do best. Y'all gotta start being real.
So Pro Troll needs he wants you guys to do better as a Jordan fan. He wants you guys to do better.
Send him a link.
They're cowards. This is why we appreciate Ralph.
I hate when they say we can come on the show. What the fuck?
They don't want to come on the show. Travis, no, it's not free because we get paid off for everything that they say. We keep telling y'all. We get paid off for everything Michael Jordan fans say. They know that. That's
That's
why
right.
they stay safe in the
He
comments.
feed everybody. He feeds the world, nigga. He put
Well, look,
LeBron don't feed you.
Bring
Jordan
on my graphs so we can. I'll tell you what. if y'all gonna make Jordan a billionaire, y'all need to just make me and Brandon just a millionaire. Just help us out. Just make us a millionaires. We just want to be millionaires. We don't even want to be a billionaire. But Ralph, the playoff riser is GOAT James Kingdom, and it is GOAT James in general. This is why we say he overcame so much. He's number 1 in points. He's top 5 in rebounds. He's second in assists. He has the most steals. He's top 10 in blocks. He's top 2 in finals appearances. He's been to 17 different playoffs. I think that's top 5 in NBA history as well. He has 4 championships. If we count the players that led their team to championships, he's top 5. If we count the finals MVPs, he's second all time. He has the most playoff wins, the most playoff series wins, the most playoff sweeps. And we didn't use none
All
of the
these
sweeps.
wins just came when he was down in the series? By your criteria?
He also got the losses too now.
Yeah, he does. He does have the most.
And he also has the most defensive rebounds all time. He has the most defensive rebounds all time.
He has the most defensive rebounds of all time.
I'm just saying.
He got both losses too.
But wait.
Hey, Johnny.
Y'all like to do the averages. Even in the averages, if we look at the averages, the man is averaging 28, 9, 7, 1.5 a block. Just dominating.
Hey Johnny, I got a lot because since I started this list, like I don't know, I remember I posted in the Facebook group. I have a lot. It's a lot of records that LeBron James has. Like it's just
too much.
It's
to
crazy.
Put on one paper. Too much to put on one paper.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I may need 2 papers, like 2 to 3 pages. And Jordan has a lot too. If you really think about it, like if you look at everything objectively when it comes to statistical records between both players, they have a lot. But you know, LeBron is really trumping Jordan. If you look at it objectively, if you include everything, it's a lot. Like I'm talking about even like the most. I think he has the most 5 assists per game averages in the playoffs. Or no, the most 5 assists games in the playoffs. Most 5 assists per game playoff averages. Like stuff like that is also included in records. Or the most 20 points per game postseasons, the most 25 points per game postseasons.
He has stuff like
that. He got the most 30 points.
Yeah, the most 30-point games. And see, that's different. The most 30-point games in the regular season, postseason. He has the most 40-point games in a single postseason. Like it's ridiculous. You got to include everything, and it's like including. He's like Trump. I'm just saying he might. Yeah, he might have.
Mind you, see, look,
every
what
time he
Ishmael
scores
said.
a point is a record. Every time he scores,
I include a lot of things with Jordan too.
Regardless of regular season or playoffs.
No, but that's what I was going to say, Ishmael. Because remember, they mentioned that the fact that Jordan does have the record for the most 40-point games
right
in the series, right?
Yeah, in the series, right.
We also know that Wilt Chamberlain was also known for having the most records for a very long time. That was like, I think it was still 72. He still holds 72 records that he's held since 60 years ago, right? So we know that these are things that people use for their greatness, but now you mentioning it is too much.
More than that,
yeah, it's like because when I
think he has more than 72, Ralph, but I think it's 70.
So he got more than 72.
I
challenge anyone to
no, wait. Hold on. In my list, when it comes to Wilt Chamberlain, see, I wrote a list for Wilt Chamberlain too. See, like I didn't include things like the most consecutive 60-point games or something like that. Like I didn't include stuff like that.
That's right. So hey, if you go,
I mean, he's the only one to do it
now.
No, because LeBron James has stuff like that too. Like LeBron has the youngest to reach 2,000 points and stuff. It's like, come on, man. It's like, are we gonna really?
Right, that's what I'm saying. These are all records. These are all records, but Wilt Chamberlain has a lot of records too.
Chamberlain got 100, 1,000
record for double-doubles.
Yeah, like I mean, like, and then if we use like combined stats, like if we use like that's just doing I feel like that's a little. That's
you gotta count everything.
Okay, Ishmael, what do you consider a record? What do you consider a record?
I use single game stats unless it's like
single game stats.
Yeah, I've been using mostly single game stats unless it's like, he led the most in totals in a triple double. That's different. Like, but when we're talking about LeBron has the most 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in the playoffs or something like that. It's like I feel like that's just a little a little bit doing too much, in my opinion. I had an explanation for it, but it's like, because if we do all that, then of course, then it's like, yeah, because that's what they're doing for Wilt. They're not doing single game stats. They're doing combinations of things. They're including consecutive records. Like, it's not. That's what I'm saying. So I'm using single game stats, or unless it's like a triple
Where's your
double.
top 10 list that we talked about? I gotta see this.
But that's a record, right? Like Wilt Chamberlain having.
So Ishmael, I have a question. So is 40 points, 40,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 10,000 rebounds? Would you consider that a record, or just a milestone?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I'm saying. It's difficult because I'm trying to be objective as possible. Because it's like, oh, somebody's gonna come and find out, oh, he has a combined stat of this. It's like, really? Are you serious? Like, what? Like, are you serious? I mean, yeah, LeBron is the first to have a triple double in stats. So it kind of is a yes and no to that. But it's like, when we consider like a record, like LeBron's the youngest to reach 2,000 points. It's like, are we going to really fault for someone coming into the league at 22 years old who didn't get the opportunity to do that? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's not, it feels like that's not objective on that point. Or Michael Jordan, he scored the most points at 40 years old.
I also have to say, you have to like kind of have to put into perspective that LeBron had the skill to go into the NBA at 18
Yeah, see,
years
that's
old.
what I'm saying. That I feel like that's like, of course, by that time, if we include all that, LeBron will have like 100 records.
So it's the fastest to get 1,000 points a record, or that's just a milestone?
No, I didn't include that because I know LeBron. I know Michael Jordan got something like that, like the fastest to reach 31 and 32,000 points. I didn't include stuff the fastest because it's like, what, really? It's like some of the stuff that they got on here is kind of like absurd to me, and so yeah, so that's why I didn't include some of the things, but I'm just trying to. Yeah,
40,000 points is not a record. It's just the scoring title.
Of course, it is a record. Yeah, that is definnely a record.
That's not a game. That's not a game
LeBron
record.
is the fastest to 39,000 points.
Bro, of course, yeah. See what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to include that? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, or the fastest.
So wait,
40,000.
the most in-season tournament MVPs don't count?
Oh man, come on, quit playing with me.
Come on, man.
No, I didn't include. I didn't even include media awards.
So what about the most player of the month?
I didn't include media.
What about the most player of the month? Do you think that's a record?
There's a record.
I didn't include any. Listen, in my list, I didn't include media awards. I didn't include combined stats. I didn't include consecutive stats. The fastest to do this, the youngest, the oldest, and LeBron has over 40 records.
So you did game highs, just game highs.
No, it sounds like you picked records that he believes. No.
Not game highs.
It sounds like you did records that's applicable to everybody. That was
yes. Exactly. Thank you, Sturdy.
Players of the month. Players of the month is applicable to everybody. Youngest to this thing, because there were stages in the league where you couldn't get drafted out of high school.
And then it's like,
I get
it. So how about the most seasons averaging 30 or the most seasons averaging 25?
Yes. I included stuff like that. The most seasons averaging 30. The most seasons averaging 5 rebounds. The most seasons averaging 5 assists per game.
5 rebounds.
Yes. Include all that. Hell yeah.
But what stat isn't applicable to anybody? So what can LeBron do that can nobody else do?
No, I'm not saying stat. I'm saying records. I'm saying records. Like, for example.
Okay, what record can LeBron have that nobody else could have?
For example, players on the month. The answer like Dolph, like players of the month. Players of the month wasn't applicable to everybody in throughout NBA history. If Bill Russell couldn't get players of the month, you know what I'm saying?
So defensive player of the years don't count.
Right? So
same thing. That's why I think Ishmael was saying. I think he only counted records that's applicable.
I excluded all media awards as well because media awards tend to have some type of biasness in errors as well.
So are you trying to make a top 10 list?
Well, the thing is that
I'm gonna have to see about that. Yeah,
what he was saying about
awards, one media awards at first.
Yeah, like of course LeBron has the most All NBAs. The most look, LeBron has 2 records in awards itself. The most All NBAs in total, and the most All NBA first teams. Yeah, so that's like 2 awards in itself.
I got All Stars right now too.
Yes, those are honors. The most All-Star awards. Yeah, of course. When it comes to media awards, LeBron is going to trump people in terms of like Like, but I excluded that. And LeBron still has over 40 records that I'm counting right now. I even included the most 500 totals in a postseason. LeBron James got that, right?
Okay.
I even
500
included
rebounds,
yes,
150.
500-point totals in a postseason. The most I included shit from Michael Jordan that probably people have never heard in their life. Like
Give him one.
the
Give
most
him one.
the most points in a 6-game series in the finals goes to Michael Jordan. The most field goals made in a game series goes to Michael Jordan. The most like I'm not biased here. Like I have I'm trying to include an objective list as much as possible.
How objective is you went to 6-game series?
Like
You
you
said
got
a
to pull some
6-game
records
series.
out your ass. They
Yes,
got
because people have the chance to pick. Because a lot of people have
Wait,
it.
so LeBron can't be the youngest at everything, but you gonna give Jordan 6-game series records?
All right, well, no,
Yeah,
no,
that was my point. He had to pull some stuff out to help Jordan.
I am not trying to like if anybody wants to criticize anything what I put in my list, I'm up for it. I'm up for a debate. I'm open for discussion about it. If you think that is bias and I need to exclude that, then that's fine. You know, I don't have no point of it. I even put Michael Jordan has the most points in a half of the NBA Finals. Michael Jordan most 40-point games for a playoff series. Michael Jordan most 40 points per game playoffs. Yeah, I have that already. Let's see. Michael Jordan has the most 40 points.
Y'all writing this down, Travis and Craig? Y'all might need this later on.
Yeah,
So they definitely get something down. I promise they are. I promise.
Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan led the postseason. He led the postseason the most, like out of everybody in scoring. So like LeBron led it several times. Like okay,
Ishmael, tell me why
up?
Michael Jordan not using any of that stuff that doesn't matter at all. Tell me exactly why Michael Jordan's a top 3 player, not even using any accolades. Go ahead.
Well, it's not an accolade; it's a statistical record. And so Michael Jordan. And so Michael Jordan probably has the top 3, top 5, according to this list, most records in the NBA, like near Wilt, LeBron.
Well, the important
James.
thing is he has a top 5 peak in prime of all time. Just
Well,
like
I don't go by peak. I'm not going to go by peak because the greatest of all time in a list like that is supposed to be the entire career. Most people try to argue, from what all this stuff that I'm analyzing, people use advanced metrics and Jordan could have done this at this rate. They're trying to argue who is better instead of who is greater. And so I'm trying to, yes, there's a difference. There's a difference. You're trying to argue who is better. And so what I'm saying is that no, I'm not trying to. When it comes, you want to say Michael Jordan has a better peak than LeBron James? That's fine. I'm not going to try.
He doesn't. He doesn't say that. He doesn't have no peak. We already know this. He doesn't have nothing over LeBron.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm trying to. Yeah, my thing is like in totality of the career, and records have to be a part of it. So that's why I'm doing this, to be objective on it.
It's gonna be hard though, because again, the records are just so many records. Because again, a record is anything that just hasn't been done before. To be honest with you, and there's so many.
Yeah, they do that stuff, and it's
so
like
many things you can.
What you also got to remember though, Ismail, is that careers end all the time for a variety of reasons, some of which are out of players' control. Like
that's the player's fault.
How much longer would Larry Bird and Magic Johnson have played if they could have? Like their totals.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, we're not gonna. That's their careers, man. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna try to.
That's why totals mean less than like how good you were during your best time.
No, it's not, because the top 10 scorers were efficient scorers, and then they were all pretty well in their primes. So I'm not going to try to say that.
Not to mention all the top 10s in totals are basically Hall of Famers, and there's a bunch of guys in the top 10.
Yeah, there's some of the greatest
averages that are never going to be Hall of Famers.
Yeah, there's some of the greatest players.
We already discussed this.
You know, I seen your video, so I'm not going to say we can't. You know, Travis. I mean, come on, man. You're using advanced metrics, which a lot of them are flawed. Which a lot of them are flawed. Like think about it. Like, dude, they change a lot. They change over time, and then the totals they stay for where they are. Like we can't like the
totals. The average score is the standard.
Totals never are the standard for records, not per.
Records are
you know what
records.
I'm saying?
Listen,
totals are great, but again, you can't be if you're just using totals to like use your ranking, then it's completely disingenuous.
No, I'm not. See, like, listen, what I'm saying. I included Jordan records, the most 40 points per. Jordan has totals. He has totals.
Jordan don't have totals.
Yeah,
Like
y'all
Jordan
believe
has
Jordan have totals.
totals.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
and-
I include. Listen. I included the most scoring titles, which is the accumulation of scoring titles. And listen. I included the most leading the league in total points. So he
cares
led
about
the
that?
league 11 times in total points and led the league in points per game in scoring. So I included totals
more
for
than
Jordan.
anybody. More than
Right.
anybody.
Jordan
I
just
wanna
couldn't
see
keep that up.
Excel's top 10.
Jordan just
That's
couldn't
all I
keep
wanna
it up.
see.
That's all. Jordan
I
just
want
couldn't
to
keep it up for a
I
long
want to see
period
the
of
top
time.
10 using that criteria.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
he's
doing
what Travis. What he's saying is he hasn't finished his criteria. He just giving us a transparency
Yeah,
where he's at.
and it's like when I notice is that people don't use the totality of like greatness. They don't use records. They like when I see these memes like, oh, Jordan. I mean, MJ. I mean, LeBron doesn't have 10 scoring titles. It's like, but that's not the only record. That's a stat record. And it's
Scoring
like, that's
titles
not the
don't mean
only record.
anything, actually.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
Travis, you gotta stop saying that too. It's not the end all be all, but it definitely means something.
Yeah,
See, Travis is the one trolling.
I understand.
Travis is the one trolling right
Scoring
now.
titles mean that you shot more than anyone else during a particular season.
Hey,
facts,
Travis, what is more important, 30 points per game or 10 scoring titles?
How efficient were you?
The same.
What?
30
No,
points per game.
Travis.
Yeah, bro.
Come on,
Yeah.
Travis. We already know which one is more impressive for Jordan. We already know who we're talking about. Which one is more impressive?
Wait.
Scoring titles don't mean anything
Hold on, wait. The 10 scoring titles is 49% shooting. The 30 points per game is 52% shooting. Which one's better?
Of
30
those
points per game, obviously.
Oh, so you just said Wilt Chamberlain is better.
I mean, Travis. Jordan also had
Yo, asshole.
Yo, that's it. We got to end the show. We got to end the show.
52%. I'm like, I know exactly what you're doing.
Way past.
No,
We
the
almost
reason
at 3
why
hours.
Hey, Johnny, that.
We're done.
We almost at 3 hours.
Listen,
that doesn't mean anything. The reason why the reason why scoring titles doesn't mean anything is because you can beat Allen Iverson in 2002 winning scoring titles shooting 39% from the field.
Yeah, but
that's why Wilt Chamberlain's 30 points per game at 52% shooting is better than Jordan's 10 scoring titles.
I'm not going to take it away from him though.
Was
Jordan
he more
still has
efficient
it.
than Jordan? Sure.
Jordan,
Yeah, he was.
I'm not going to take it away
Of course
from
he
him
was.
because
Who's
Wilt
saying he's
Chamberlain.
not? You're saying that I thought that he wasn't a more efficient scorer than Jordan, which is not true.
All I'm saying is that I just wanted to see if Wilt Chamberlain's 30 points per game and 52% shooting was better than Jordan's 10 scoring titles and 49% shooting. That's what I wanted to
they're
see.
both top 10 scorers of all time.
No, it's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
That's until Kevin Durant passes Jordan.
Oh, he's already passed LeBron.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Listen, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to stop trolling. No last words. You guys been talking too much all night.
You want to get no last words? I guess John don't want to get y'all any last words, so let's go ahead and get out of here.
No last words, because we give you guys last words, we'll be talking for another 30 minutes. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys. Travis, Craig, you guys have always been great. We appreciate you. King John as well. Shout out to all the panelists that showed up. Sturdy, Ishmael, Paul the GOAT, Ralph, FYF Sports Debate, DJ Killer, even though you didn't get a chance to speak, New World. Thank you guys again. Everybody in the comments. Y'all
all
know
our
what to do.
members.
Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All the members, Sports Talk only. We see you there. We might have to do that next week. We're going to figure out what's actually more important, 40K points or 10 scoring titles, which is actually more impressive.
Hey, Johnny, you doing that?
Huh?
Oh, that's great news. Yo, y'all just heard it. Hey, Johnny said for the first time only, GJK is going to do a 24-hour stream, y'all, next week. Yo, we appreciate it, Johnny. Like, we appreciate it, y'all.
Listen,
like,
we're gonna listen. We'll listen. It's been a long show. I'm getting ready to go watch the playoffs. It's about to be Knicks versus the Pacers, Game 7.
You got 30 minutes.
We got 2 games. And I gotta roll up. So listen, y'all enjoy y'all Sunday afternoon. This is the GOAT James Kingdom Show. I'm A. Johnny the Exposer. That is B. Lee, the sports analyst. We do it like none other. And all we do is prove LeBron's the GOAT week in and week out. So thank you guys for joining us. Peace and blessings, y'all. This is GOAT.
See you later.